I'm Nick DeLuca. Afternoon Major League Baseball push for the postseason continues. Couple of division leaders wrapping up their series with a rubber game north of the border. Blue Jays and Astros. Toronto up 3 games in the AL East. Astros AL West lead down to 1 over the Mariners. It's 3-0 Blue Jays top of the 4th. Jays getting to Christian Javier early. Nathan Lucas and Addison Barger with RBI doubles in the first. Davis Schneider adding a solo shot in the second. Kevin Gausman getting the start for the Jays. He's been sharp. 3 scoreless innings with 3 Ks. Jays and Astros both top 10 World Series odds on ESPN Bet entering the week. In the NBA, latest with Kawhi Leonard. Pablo Torre reporting a Clippers limited partner sent nearly $2 million to now bankrupt Aspiration within 10 days of Leonard being paid $1.75 million by the company for a no-show endorsement deal. The NBA continues to investigate whether owner Steve Ballmer and the Clippers violated league rules. Commissioner Adam Silver said it would be up to the NBA to prove wrongdoing.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy, coming up Friday. I know it's only week 2, but I'll tell you the one matchup this weekend that will have huge implications for the rest of the season. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from downtown Baton Rouge.
Let's ride!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. I'm Matt. Shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Musu. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. We have got a ton to do. Injury updates for the Tigers and the Saints. Sean Salisbury next hour, our Fantasy Blitz. Sean Kelly, the voice of the Gators. Mike Triplett in hour 3. My goodness, we are stacked. But let us begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
All right. As this week has gone on leading up to Tigers and Gators, I know here we have very heavily focused on the matchup at the line of scrimmage with the LSU offensive line and the Florida defensive line with good reason. It is the reason that Florida beat LSU a year ago. Tigers dominated the yardstick. Look at the box score. LSU owned every facet of that game. But they didn't finish drives because time and again, that Florida defensive front created havoc. 7 sacks, 11 TFLs, 14 pressures, 20 hurries, and it killed drives. And LSU settled for field goals or had a costly turnover deep in their own territory when Caleb Banks forced a fumble from Garrett Nussmeier, and they ripped off a long 55-yard run, and that was the ballgame. So naturally, with injuries, key injuries, and absences and potential suspensions on both sides of that matchup, that was going to be a key part of what we talked about this week. Now, on the teleconference on Wednesday, I want to remind you, on the teleconference on Wednesday, Brian Kelly was asked for an update on Braylon Moore. This is what Brian Kelly said on Wednesday, so 24 hours ago. He said on Wednesday.
I think we have him listed as probable. He did practice yesterday, and we expect him to practice today.
Okay. So probable. Now, I will tell you, after practice on Wednesday, so that was Brian Kelly saying he practiced yesterday, meaning Tuesday, and they expected him to practice when he said today, he was meaning on Wednesday. Now, Wednesday evening, I had several conversations with people close to the who said Braylon Moore did, in fact, practice on Wednesday, but that it wasn't great. And that, if anything, I don't want to, I'm being careful with my phrasing. I don't want to say regressed or anything along those lines. I just want to say that it was not promising. Let's put it to you, that was not promising coming out of practice on Wednesday. So the official injury report for LSU and Florida is now out. Remember, the SEC mandates an injury report for league games. So the official injury report is out. And what Brian Kelly 24 hours ago said probable, the official designation now for Braylon Moore, Trey'Dez Green, and Destin Hill is questionable. So that would stand to reason that it is a regression from what Brian Kelly was thinking on Wednesday morning to now. I want to reiterate, by the way, also on the injury report, Zion Williams, the freshman defensive lineman, out. No reason given. Brian Kelly will meet with reporters on Thursday. It'll happen while I'm here in studio, so I won't be there, but perhaps someone there will ask what's going on there with Zion Williams, who's a massive human, by the way. I'm excited about his future and potential here, but injured and out for this game. I think my feeling, as we continue to say it, is that the best way to approach this week is to give Braylon more time. Hold him out this week, hold him out against Southeastern, and get him ready for the trip to Ole Miss in 2 weeks. You don't need to be an historian to remember this, but if you're an LSU football fan, you will remember this. In 2016, this happened with Leonard Fournette. Fournette had that amazing 2015 where it looked like he was going to win the Heisman Trophy until he ran into Alabama. But coming back in 2016, everyone was super excited for what that was going to look like in 2016. And then in fall camp, Leonard Fournette sprained his ankle. And they got him ready to go against Wisconsin, and he re-aggravated it against Wisconsin. He had 23 carries for 138 that day, but he re-aggravated that ankle injury. He missed the next week, came back against Mississippi State, ran for 147 yards, then ran the next week against Auburn for 101, re-aggravated the ankle injury, missed a month after that. He came back at the end of October against Ole Miss and set the single-game rushing record with 284, then played against Bama, Arkansas, and if you remember, he still had that aggravated injury when they played Florida. That was the game that got removed, or they got moved because of the hurricane. And Fournette was not supposed to play in that game. They had the pregame scuffle. He ran into the locker room and got dressed. Do you remember that? And then that was the last. He hurt himself again, and that was the last we saw Leonard Fournette. He ended up only playing 7 games in 2016 because of that ankle and just continuing to try to manage it and play and then give it rest, but he just never gave it enough time. I don't want that to happen to Braylon Moore. He is too critical to this team. He is your best offensive lineman at the most important position on the offensive line. So, and I understand that a running back has to stop and start and cut and jump, and it's different than a lineman playing in a phone booth where you can take that thing high and tight and just say, go deal with it. It's different positionally. I do understand that. But my preference would be, man, if Braylon Moore is not 100%, you can't run the risk of this happening, where then you're going to miss him for a month and he comes back and he's out again and in and out, like managing all year. Give him the time he needs to get right. You have the time here to get it right and get him ready for Ole Miss. And then you have an open date after Ole Miss. Like, you have the time to do it right now, so do it correctly right now. So we'll see how this all plays out. Now, the other side of this injury report is that from the Florida side, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 6 players that are already out for this game. Running back Trayon Webb, wide receiver Dallas Wilson, edge LJ McCray, which we know he broke his foot, defensive back Michael Caraway, tight end Scott Isaacs, and offensive lineman Fletcher Westfall. They are already out for the game. The omission there, as you notice, is Caleb Banks. So Caleb Banks is not on the injury report. He has not yet played this year. Caleb Banks had off-season foot surgery, and then while he was recovering from off-season foot surgery, one of his teammates stepped on his foot, the broken foot, as he was recovering. So he's not played in the first 2 games, but no designation. So he is going to play. He'll make his season debut against LSU. I want to remind you, we had Caleb Banks on AFR at SEC Football Media Days. This is a picture. If you're watching, you'll see it. If not, go look at my Twitter. This is a picture of me and Caleb Banks. I'm not a small human. I'm 6 feet, 200 pounds. I'm a pretty normal size guy. Caleb Banks is a literal giant. He is just look at his head compared to my head. He's 6'6", 330. And oh, by the way, a year ago, he wrecked LSU. It was, I need my screen. A year ago, he wrecked LSU. If you look at his highlight tape, he's got a 4-minute highlight tape from last year on YouTube. Half of that highlight tape are plays that he made in the game against LSU last October. And if you watch this, he is making all kinds of hay against Paul Mabenga and Miles Frazier on the left side and the right side in the B gap. He played against LSU 52 snaps in the B gap and 5 over the tackle. So primarily right there over the guard or between the guard and the tackle is where he was playing. And it was primarily Mabenga and Miles Frazier. And he gave them hell all day. He had a sack. He hit the quarterback twice. He had 6 hurries, and he forced 2 fumbles. He's the one that hit Garrett Nussmeier that forced the fumble that Florida recovered deep in LSU territory. And then when on that play, when Emory Jones picked up the fumble and was running with it, Banks leveled Emory Jones and forced the fumble on Jones, if you remember that. Anyway, he's a wrecking ball. He's massive. He's going to make his season debut against LSU on Saturday in Tiger Stadium. So Braylon Moore should probably be, well, Braylon Moore is questionable, officially questionable. Caleb Banks is going to play. Now, we've gone through the names already. Tyreek Sapp wrecked you a year ago as well. He's back. Caleb Banks is going to play. Shamar James led Florida in tackles and had 4 TFLs and all that stuff. He plays for the Dallas Cowboys. Jack Pyburn plays for LSU. LJ McCray has a broken foot. He's out. So there's a lot of differences, okay? I mean, it's not going to be the exact same defensive front from a year ago, but pieces of that defensive front that caused problems for you are back, and you might be shorthanded without Braylon Moore. This matchup is the game. We've talked about it all week. I think this is the only path for Florida to win the football game, is if their defensive front can go wreck LSU's offensive line and make this an ugly game that's low scoring. Because listen, the total in this game opened at 51. It's now dropped into the upper 40s. It might keep dropping. I think Vegas is still struggling to catch up with LSU's defense. And I think a lot of these unders are going to hit because I don't think Vegas is properly accounted for how good LSU's defense is. Like, this was a Florida team a week ago that scored 14 points against South Florida. So I am not super bullish on Florida coming in and putting up 27 against LSU. I just don't think they have the personnel to do that against LSU's defense. The flip side of it is this LSU offense, which was stuck in the mud a week ago against Louisiana Tech, ready to get going against the one team that was hell on wheels for a really good pass-blocking offensive line a year ago. We'll find out Saturday night in Tiger Stadium. But we'll get the absolute latest on those injury reports when we have them. Brian Kelly meets with reporters on Thursday night. If that happens while we're still on air, I'll certainly pass it along to you here on the show in hour number 3. All right, we're glad you're with us. Our show open every day is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR and the official beer of the LSU Tigers. If you have not seen it yet, there is a hilarious ad that Bud Light is running right now. It's a tailgating ad featuring comedian Shane Gillis, who's awesome. And they made this into a national TV ad centered around LSU. It's super funny. It's Gillis driving a safari car, and he's got these safari goers in the safari vehicle, and they got Bud Light in the safari vehicle, and they're searching for tailgaters is what they're looking for. So they're mimicking like they're out in a safari. Really, they're just driving through a parking lot. If you haven't seen it, it's hilarious. It's on the Mockler pages. I'll make sure I share it as well. Then all of a sudden, all the LSU tailgaters come out. Gillis is hilarious. The spot's great. It highlights everything that's fun about the Bud Light brand. That's great about LSU tailgating. Shane Gillis' humor. Love to be able to have great partnerships like this and have some fun with it. So, as we always say, you're going to be tailgating this weekend for LSU. Pick up the officially licensed LSU can, the 12-ounce can, the 16-ounce aluminum bottles that we have here on set with us. A hat tip to Courtney over at Mockler. She's the one who designed these cans and aluminum bottles. So you can pick them up at great local retailers all over, and make sure that when you're tailgating with the Tigers here this weekend for LSU against Florida, and all season long. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR, the official beer of the LSU Tigers, the official beer of the New Orleans Saints as well. Make sure all football season long you're drinking easy with the great taste of Bud Light. All right, it's after further review. We'll knock out a quick break. When we come back, more injury news for the Saints and Niners, and this could end up playing really into the Saints' hand as they might be able to raise up and steal one none of us thought that they were going to get. We'll talk about it next on AFR.
After further review.
We're brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com. Spell it out, O-N-E, 1hourbr.com. If your AC isn't keeping up, if it's blowing hot, don't go to bed sweating, y'all. Call River City's 1 Hour Air, because be it nights, holidays, weekends, doesn't matter. If your AC isn't keeping up, they'll come out nights, holidays, weekends. Remember this number, or call it right now, 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com, O-N-E, 1hourbr.com. That's where you can find them online. Remember, when you call 752-0001, you're going to talk to a human. It's not an answering machine. It's not AI. It's a living, breathing human that's going to answer your phone call when you call 752-0001. 752-0001, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $22,500 off MSRP on the brand new 2025 Ram 1500 Laramie with $22,500 off MSRP with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
Mornings with Brian Haldane is the only live and local talk show in the capital city. Get the news from the newsmakers, along with traffic and weather updates throughout the morning. The conversation.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalvr.com.
The New Orleans Saints are off of the practice field here on Thursday. We are still waiting on the San Francisco 49ers version of the injury report. Let me quickly, though, run through what we know for New Orleans. There's a smidge of good news herein. Taliesin Fuaga, who injured his knee on Sunday, did not practice Wednesday, was on the field in a limited capacity on Thursday. That's the really good news. That means he's trending toward being available. We'll see what happens on Friday. The not-so-great news is that your other two starters here, Trevor Penning and Chase Young, again, did not practice. Neither played Sunday, neither practiced Wednesday, neither practiced on Thursday. Also unfortunate, a change in one of the designations is Zach Wood, the long snapper. He was limited on Wednesday with an elbow injury. He did not practice on Thursday. Now, you would think, again, maybe foolishly, but you would think you give Zach Wood a few days, just rest, heal that thing up a little bit. You can get out there and throw the ball between your legs a couple times. Well, with the Saints team, maybe like 7 times. But other than that, we'll see. I'm being presumptive. Velus Jones was limited. Jordan Howden was a full participant. And Julian Blackmon, of course, did not participate again as he's out with the shoulder injury. It's likely going to cost him a season. We knew that. So, again, the big news, Penning and Young still out. Fuaga upgraded to a limited participant, could very well be trending toward playing. We're going to wait and see what the designations are for the 49ers when their official injury report comes out after they finish practice here on Thursday. But the news that came Thursday morning from Ian Rappaport of NFL Media was the news that a lot of 49er people for the 49er circles were not looking forward to hearing about quarterback Brock Purdy.
And telling reporters yesterday that Brock Purdy is a long shot to play this week. It could be a multiple-week injury. My understanding is that Brock Purdy is out 2 to 5 weeks. 2 to 5 weeks for Brock Purdy with what is essentially a variant of turf toe. It is a ligament injury that affects the bottom of his foot. Call it turf toe if you want. That's basically what Kyle Shanahan has said. But 2 to 5 weeks for Brock Purdy, which would put him out at least the Saints game this week, the Cardinals game next week, and then we'll see. It is swollen. It is irritated. No one knows how it's going to react, but certainly it seems like the 49ers are looking at probably 2 starts for Mac Jones, their backup quarterback, and maybe more. And it's been tough early on for the 49ers, guys. I mean, obviously you had the Christian McCaffrey minor injury to start out. Week 1, he ended up playing. You have George Kittle on IR with a hamstring injury, another battery of injury for the 49ers. A lot of challenges early on.
Okay, so that was Ian Rappaport of NFL Media giving the update. So 2 to 5 weeks for Purdy. I don't really care what happens with Brock Purdy the rest of the season. What I care about is Sunday in the Dome against the Saints, and he is going to be out, according to that report, this Sunday, meaning the Saints will prepare for Mac Jones. That San Francisco offense is very shorthanded, and this is a great benefit to the New Orleans Saints. Remember a few years ago, the Saints caught a break. When they played the Giants, they got to face Dammy Gauntlets. Remember that? They also, when they faced the Bears, they got to face, who was the kid from Eastern Dude Brock University? What was his name?
Tyson Bagent.
Him, that guy. They got to face him. Remember, there was like a handful of games where the Saints kept facing backups because guys kept getting injured. Maybe this is one where you catch a break because it seems like you're not going to have to face Purdy. You're going to face Mac Jones. And I want to remind you, do you remember the last time the Saints faced Mac Jones? Saints faced Mac Jones in 2023 when he was the starting quarterback in New England. It was his 3rd year, which ended up being his final year in New England. Mac Jones, the Saints won that game 34-0. If you remember that game, it was early season. It was October the 8th in New England. Mac Jones was 12 of 22 for 110 yards, no touchdowns, 2 picks, got benched at halftime for Bailey Zappi. Tyrann Mathieu had a pick 6 at the start of the game to open up the scoring. And as you mentioned, ultimately they brought in Bailey Zappi to play the second half, and it wasn't any better. The Saints blew the doors off of New England that day. So now that was a different Saints defense, obviously different Saints team altogether a couple of years ago. But Saints have seen Mac Jones, and it was in New England, and it didn't go great for Mac Jones. The thing about San Francisco is this San Francisco offense is gutted. Brock Purdy's out. George Kittle's on IR. Brandon Ayuk, remember, tore his ACL and his MCL last year in Week 7. He's still not back yet. So, and Deebo Samuel was traded this offseason. He's going to play Thursday Night Football for Washington, catching pass from Jay Daniels. So, no Samuel, no Ayuk, no Kittle, no Purdy. You have Christian McCaffrey back, and he was awesome. He had over 140 yards from scrimmage this past weekend in the opener against Seattle. But that was not a great day offensively for San Francisco in that opener against Seattle. Now, it was on the road. It was on the road in Seattle, and this is on the road in New Orleans. But the Saints have hardly been a solid home team over the last 3 seasons. The dome field advantage has been all but gone. But you know, the Niners won that game on the road, scoring only 17 points, and that's the cautionary tale, is that the Niners went on the road with that defense and held Seattle in their home stadium to 13 points. That was Sam Darnold. That was Jackson Smith and Jigba, Zach Charbonnet, some good young players offensively there, but Seattle only managed 13 points on their home field in that game. Now for New Orleans, can they move the ball against the San Francisco defense? Robert Saleh's back in San Francisco, and he is a great defensive mind. It didn't work out with him as a head coach of the Jets, but he is a great defensive coordinator. That is objectively true. They held Seattle to 230 yards and 13 points on their home field. What do we realistically think New Orleans might be able to do with a rookie left tackle, an injured Taliesin Fuaga, Dylan Radins replacing Trevor Penning at left guard, Cesar Ruiz, who might be the worst starting offensive guard in the NFL, at right guard? You don't really have a true tight end, and you're starting Spencer Rattler. I don't know that I'm bullish on the New Orleans Saints offense getting going against the San Francisco defense, which, by the way, Spencer Rattler was asked about that Niners defense when he met with reporters on Wednesday after practice.
Very fast. I mean, a lot of speed on the field. They get the sideline to sideline really well. Obviously, Fred Warner, best in the league, one of the best in the league, super smart guy. We're going to have to prepare for him. And obviously, Bosa on the edge, we got to have a game plan for him. So, we got to put in a good plan this week. We had a great day today starting out, this Wednesday, and got to keep building, day by day up to the game.
It's going to be a really tough challenge, but this feels like one of those games where offense is probably going to be hard to come by, just by virtue of the fact that San Francisco's defense is exceptional and the Saints' offense is not. And when you flip it, the San Francisco offense, even though they have a brilliant offensive coach in Kyle Shanahan, who turned Brock Purdy into a $50 million quarterback and went to a Super Bowl with Brock Purdy with Jimmy G. He's a fantastic offensive coach. He just doesn't have the tools in the chest here to really get going against the Saints defense that I thought played pretty well on Sunday this past week in the opener against Arizona. They gave their team a chance to get in there and win the football game when they started getting stops, in the second half. So probably a low-scoring game this Sunday in the Superdome with the Saints and the Niners. For whatever it's worth, that line opened at 7.5. It's all the way down to 3.5. The total is at 40.5. So Vegas is looking like a 2017 type game. That's kind of what they're projecting right there. Something along those lines. 21-17, something like that for Saints and 49ers. But see if this offense can get going against a really good San Francisco defense, because they'll have an opportunity. I mean, this is one where I certainly didn't give New Orleans much of a chance of winning. I thought that the first 2 at home, you had a better chance of beating Arizona than you did of beating San Francisco. Well, that's changed because of all the injuries with San Francisco. If Purdy and Kittle and everybody was healthy, it's a completely different story. I don't even think this is a ball game. You have a chance to get this one, because I don't think you're going to Seattle and winning. I don't think you're going to Buffalo and winning. So getting this one on Sunday is the difference between starting 1-3 and starting 0-4. So see if the Saints can get this one, be a little bit more than competent offensively, play strong defense against a backup quarterback, see if you might be able to steal one that not many people thought you'd be able to get Sunday in the Dome. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Parish Construction and Roofing, parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. Tell you every day, do business with someone you know. That's me and Terrio and Richard Tilley and Joe Morales, our whole great staff and crew. Matt Pearson, our commercial roofing manager. We we're expanding our commercial division and went down to Florida and hired Matt Pearson away. There's literally no one that I've ever met who knows more about every type of roof than Matt Pearson. He's just the best. So if you have a commercial or industrial roofing job, we'd love to help you out. We literally just finished a job for Our Lady of the Lake at Parish Construction Roofing at one of their facilities. So it doesn't matter how big the job is or if it's your residential home. We'd love to help you out with repairs, replacements. We can do any type of roof. We even do roof soft washes as well. So you want to clean the roof, we can do that. And we do gutters, do it all. It's Parish Construction and Roofing, parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. Do business with someone you know, Parish Construction and Roofing. All right, y'all, it is After Further Review. Thursday shows are brought to you by Decision Critical, Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. We're going to knock out a break. We'll go around the SEC when we come back. The SEC coaches collectively have responded to Ryan Day of Ohio State, his opposition to the one portal window. The SEC coaches have given a collective voice to their opinion. You'll hear that. And by the way, we missed Sean Salisbury on Tuesday. We just had trouble with the connection. Sean's going to be with us in 45 minutes. I want his opinion on Rattler against Mac Jones, and then also what to expect this weekend from DJ Lagway, who's been really rusty the first couple of weeks of this college football season. We'll get into all that with Sean Salisbury again about 45 minutes from right now. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
Next month, the Watermark Hotel is going to be celebrating its centennial. Now, not the hotel, but the building itself. I've told you before, Watermark Baton Rouge, downtown on 3rd Street, is Baton Rouge's original high-rise building, the old Louisiana National Bank building. It's celebrating its centennial next month, and they got a month worth of really fun events and cool commemorative events going on at Watermark Baton Rouge that we're excited to tell you more about when we get into October and all the things that are coming up. But it's just a great reminder to experience that piece of history in Baton Rouge, but also Baton Rouge's premier hotel property. Watermark Baton Rouge has been voted by you the best hotel in the best 225. They've got, of course, two amazing dining options. You got the Gregory, which is right there in the lobby, and then Milford's on 3rd, a little more casual sandwich shop, which is accessible via 3rd Street or through the lobby. You can see it there. You got an event you want to host, Watermark Baton Rouge. You want a great dinner, cocktail, glass of wine, pop on in and see our friends at Watermark Baton Rouge.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
We always appreciate Blazia and the great team over at Decision Critical. Another football home weekend. Maybe you're caring for elderly parents. You feel guilty about leaving. The expert nurses at Decision Critical can come stay for a few hours, the whole day, whatever you need. It's concierge nursing. It's not just healthcare. It's healthcare for your lifestyle. DecisionCriticalBR.com. DecisionCriticalBR.com. Remember, they do IV hydration as well. So you want to get an IV before you're going to go spend the day tailgating. Call Decision Critical. They can get a nurse to your home, to your office, do that IV. It takes 30 minutes, and you're done. DecisionCriticalBR.com. Earlier in the week, we told you about Ryan Day from Ohio State. He came out against the one transfer portal window in January, basically didn't like that it was a disadvantage for college football playoff teams that are playing into the playoff into January, that the portal window would happen, a 10-day window would happen then, while their team's still playing into the playoff and they're supposed to be building their roster for next year. Well, Brian Kelly and all of the SEC coaches had a unified front on the SEC coaches teleconference. Here's what BK had to say about the one portal window.
We're in support of the new portal window to a man in the SEC, and I've talked to many that believe across the country this is the progress that we need to make. I want to get my roster set. Now, I know there's probably 12 or 16 teams that might be in the playoffs at that time. I'm sorry, there's no crying on the yacht. I mean, we got to get this thing set, and it's best positioned at this time to allow us to set our rosters moving forward.
I don't know that I agree with him. I completely agree with that there's no crying on the yacht. That's the thing I've yelled about forever with portal, with NIL, all the stuff. I have no sympathy for millionaire coaches. I mean, you're making $8, $9, $10, $13 million a year. Figure it out. I don't care that you're inconvenienced. I don't care that you have to work harder to build your roster. Figure it out. It's why you make the money you make. Fair or unfair, like that's the truth. To whom much is given, much is expected. You make giant salaries, you're in charge of a giant football program, you're going to be inconvenienced at times. I don't care. Figure it out. I just don't know that actually having a one-time 10-day portal window in January, beginning of January, is actually the best way that's most conducive for building your roster and the fairest thing for the student athletes as well. I am very much still in favor of a spring portal window. I know a lot of people don't like that, but LSU has been the beneficiary of spring transfers. Joe Burrow was a spring transfer this year. Halsey, Bernard Gooden were spring transfers. Yes, I am in favor of a spring portal window. Syracuse's starting quarterback, Angeli, was a spring transfer from Notre Dame. After spring football, went to Syracuse. Now he's their starting quarterback. There's a lot of value in having that portal window after guys go through spring football. I would like to see that remain, but it doesn't seem like it's going to. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Shawbills Tire and Auto Service, shawbillstire.com. Locations all over South Louisiana. You need tires? Get the best tires on the road at the cheapest price possible, and you do that at Shawbills. Again, they started in Morgan City, moved up to Baton Rouge. Now they got locations all over. Livingston, Ascension, west into Acadiana. It's Shawbills Tire and Auto Service since 1968 when they opened up their doors, and they've been doing it better than anyone for 60 years now. It's Shawbills Tire and Auto Service. ShawbillsTire.com. ShawbillsTire.com, where they'll sell you name brand tires at wholesale prices, and they'll treat you like family. Shawbills, where we keep you rolling. All right, y'all. It is After Further Review. You're going to do Fantasy Blitz coming up in 6 minutes. Get your questions in for Darin Tietgen right now. Email us, tweet us, or text us in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Fantasy Blitz coming up right now. We do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference, the Ole Miss Rebels.
Lane Kiffin gave an update on the injury report to injured quarterback Austin Simmons. He was listed as probable on the official injury report on Wednesday night. Not a big surprise. Simmons did return and finish the game in Lexington against Kentucky. But again, something worth watching as the Rebs host Arkansas this weekend.
The Alabama Crimson Tide.
Quarterback news here, but on the other sideline, of course, Alabama is welcoming in Wisconsin this weekend to Bryant-Dennehy Stadium. And the Badgers quarterback, Billy Edwards, is unlikely to play, according to ESPN's Pete Thamel. Is expected to travel with the team, plans to warm up, but apparently still faces long odds to play after spraining his knee in the season-opening win against Miami of Ohio.
The Auburn Tigers.
Hugh Freeze gave an injury update on 2 Auburn starters. Safety Champ Anthony, who's been dealing with a thumb injury, and running back Damari Alston has been battling a shoulder sprain. Both dressed for the matchup against South Alabama. Both will be assessed to determine their availability at kickoff. Freeze said Alston's going to be a game-time decision, sticking with that. And Anthony underwent surgery last Monday for the thumb, but has been on the practice field this week.
The Texas Longhorns.
Got an injury update on Texas receiver DeAndre Moore. Suffered a concussion against San Jose State. His ability is uncertain for the UTEP game this weekend. Moore was held out of practice the first few days this week in the concussion protocol, but Horns 24/7 is saying that Moore is trending in the right direction to be available for Saturday against UTEP.
The Oklahoma Sooners.
And OU got a commitment from 4-star wide receiver Damare Dezerum. He is a 2027 prospect out of Pacific Palisades in California. He's the second member of OU's 2027 recruiting class, the second offensive player, but first wide receiver. He's a top 100 recruit, number 95 overall in the country. All right, there you have it. That is around the SEC. Our Thursday shows. Love telling you about Rouse's. Remember, Rouse's is helping you cover the spread all season long. As a matter of fact, I had lunch at Rouse's today. Seriously, the Rouse's on Florida. Went up there. I love their Mongolian bowls. If you've never had them before, they're absolutely outstanding. It was teriyaki. It was teriyaki chicken and fried rice. Fantastic lunch. You can find your favorite lunch at Rouse's. And with tailgate season upon us, they got all your beer, your bourbon, your wine, your water, all of your drinks for the kids as well. Tailgate party trays, platters, desserts, the flowers. If you go to their floral shop, if you want your centerpieces, they got you covered over at Rouse's. 65 years in business and still family owned and operated. Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. Rouse's, this feels like home. Okay, y'all. Darin Tietgen's here next for our Fantasy Blitz. Week 2 of the NFL starts tonight. JD5 and the Commanders on a little NFL on Prime tonight. We're looking forward to it with the Commanders at the Packers. Got fantasy football questions before you set your roster? Check with our guys at whotostart.com. We'll do that next here on AFR.
AFR.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. It's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
Baton Rouge's home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. And the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalvr.com. After further review, this is the Fantasy Football Blitz.
Do you know who I am?
Powered by whotostart.net.
Who the hell are you?
Whotostart.net. The Fantasy Football Blitz. This is the Fantasy Football Blitz. Powered by whotostart.net.
All right, let's do it. Week 2 of the NFL. Darin Tietgen is with us. Who2start.net, the numeral 2. Get your personalized fantasy football advice there, or get it right here. Get your questions in. Email us, tweet us, text us, or jump in the Bayou Forward YouTube chat on the Watch 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. D, how are you, man?
Doing good. Thanks for having me back, of course.
Of course, man. As always, let's start with Thursday Night Football on Prime. A good one that a lot of people here will be watching. Jaden Daniels, the Commanders, heading up to Lambeau Field to take on the Packers, 7:15. What we're watching?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you're going to start Jaden Daniels. So a good start there in Lambeau Field. Jordan Love, a little bit of a lower-end quarterback one, but you're still starting him. We're looking for Deebo Samuel to have a real good game tonight just because the Packers seem to struggle against slot receivers.
All right, we always ask for sleepers as well. What are we looking at here in week 2?
Yeah, we got a couple for you. Looking at Dylan Sampson, the shifty running back out of Cleveland. He's probably going to catch a bunch of balls against Baltimore. So if you're in the PPR format, need a flex or maybe a lower-end running back too, we like Dylan Sampson. And then with Xavier Worthy most likely out for the Chiefs, Hollywood Brown obviously is going to be the main target there with Travis Kelce. But don't forget about Juju Smith-Schuster. Patrick Mahomes tends to look his way, especially to move the chains. So if you're struggling to find a flex or maybe like a third or fourth wide receiver, Juju might fit the bill.
Dylan Sampson, shout out to Dutchtown, Louisiana, about 20 minutes from where we sit. SEC Player of the Year a season ago. Awesome dude. All right, let's get to questions. As always, we'll start with Craig, who said, hey, Darin, who to start, Jaden Daniels or Justin Herbert?
Yeah, you got to go with Jaden Daniels. Herbert's a good start. Obviously in Vegas is a nice start, but Daniels is one of those guys you just pretty much plug and play.
Daryl said, who to start? Is it time to start thinking of starting Zach Charbonnet over Kenneth Walker? Would you start Charbonnet over Isaac Pacheco?
Yeah, I think I would. Pacheco, I mean, the Chiefs' offense is just kind of hard to to predict, especially the run game. I do like Charbonnet's matchup. I think he's getting pretty much a 50-50 split with Kenneth Walker. And because that matchup is fairly good this week, I think I might just lean Charbonnet.
Here's one from Greg. Who to start? It's a half-point PPR league. He needs one of these three. He's got Mark Andrews, Juwan Johnson, or Tyler Conklin. Who to start?
Definitely not Conklin. I think one of between the other two, I think I might lean on Juwan Johnson. He had a ton of targets with Rattler there. It's hard to rely on Rattler, but I think that Juwan Johnson is a safe enough start there against the Niners at home.
Matty needs running back help. He's got Breece Hall or Ashton Genty. Who to start?
Yeah, Genty needs to play. I mean, Hall looked good last week, got a lot of catches, but Genty is the workhorse for that Vegas Raiders team, so you're going to play Genty.
Clark needs 2 PPR. He's got Pacheco, Juwan Jennings, Stephon Diggs, Aaron Jones. Needs 2. Who to start?
I think you're playing Diggs and Jones there. Jones is splitting the backfield with Jordan Mason, but I think the matchup's good enough for both of those guys to get you a decent amount of points. I think the other two, just keep them on your bench for now. But, Jones for sure.
Remember, you can tweet your questions at Matt Moscona. You can email as well, matt@1045espn.com, or you can text 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. All right, Darin, this is from Gabe. Who to start, Chuba Hubbard or Alvin Kamara?
Oh, boy. If you can't start both of them, I think I might sit Kamara. It's tough to do. Obviously, he's a workhorse. That Saints team catches a bunch of balls, but Hubbard doesn't really have anybody to share the backfield with. So that's a tough one. If you could start both of them somehow, I would try to plug them both in, but if you got to go with one, you got to go with Hubbard there.
I need to look at the calendar. It's not 2021. Kayshon Boutte or Cooper Kupp, PPR league. Who to start?
I was gonna list Boutte as a kind of a bonus sleeper this week. He had a lot of targets. Looked really good with Drake May. As they kind of ramp up Stephon Diggs and a couple of those other wide receivers, Boutte is probably worth a play. I think I like him this week.
Sean said, is Justin Jefferson a good pick, even with McCarthy throwing him the football?
Sure, yeah, why not? He's not going to catch 44 yards worth of balls every week. That offense is going to get going. They had a tougher matchup there in Chicago for week 1. Expect things to open up a little bit for that Vikings offense.
Scott needs help at receiver. He's got George Pickens and Travis Hunter. Who to start?
I'm not sold on Hunter yet. I mean, I know that he's been hyped up and he does have a good matchup, but I think Pickens is a better play this week.
Got running back question here from Eric. Austin Eckler or Isaac Pacheco. Who to start?
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming it's a PPR league. If it's not a PPR league, I might lean on Pacheco just because he's better suited to get those goal line carries and could probably get you a touchdown if they get close. In PPR formats, Eckler just gets a lot of targets in the passing game, so I would lean towards Eckler in the PPR.
Here's one that's a half a PPR league. Rome Odunze, Kayshon Boutte, or Tyrone Tracy needs help in the flex spot. So Odunze, Boutte, or Tyrone Tracy, who to start?
Yeah, I think Odunze is probably your play there. The Chicago offense had some ups and downs there against Detroit for week 1, but I think Odunze is probably going to be your play, especially at his flex spot.
He is Darin Tietgen, who2start.net. It's the numeral 2, who2start.net. We've been doing this for plumb 15 years. I guess right at about 15 years now. who2start.net. You get personalized fantasy football advice there at the website, or you can get your questions in here Thursdays in hour number 1. Darin, are we doing a promo code this year? I forgot to ask you that last week.
Yeah, we still have the ESPN promo code for 10% off. You plug that in, that should work for you. If it doesn't, just hit me up on Twitter, and I'll make sure that you get that.
Let me get one more in from Cade. Who to start? Needs 2 in a PPR league. He's got Deebo Samuel, Cortland Sutton, and Keon Coleman. Needs 2 of those. So I guess it's a who to sit. But who do you got?
Oh boy, I think I might. Even though he had a monster game, I think you're sitting Coleman there. That's tough.
All right, I lied. One more. Bo Nix or Drake May. That's from Travis, getting it in right before the buzzer.
Yeah, I think Denver rights the ship against a good matchup for the Broncos. I think you go Nix there.
Darin, we appreciate it. I know we're going to miss you next week while you're traveling, but we'll pick up in 2 weeks. Thanks as always.
Appreciate it. Thanks, man.
Be well. It's After Further Review, brought to you by Parrish Restoration. Kill mold, remove odor. Remember, it's their patented, non-toxic dry fog treatment. And the thing I get asked the most about Parrish Restoration is, do they travel? Yes. Home base is in Baton Rouge, but, man, they do work all over the state. I was talking to Jim Woodworth last week. They do a ton of work in New Orleans. They've done work in Lake Charles. They've even done work outside of the state of Louisiana. So if you have mold in your home or in your commercial building, Parrish Restoration. It is a more effective, more cost-effective, and more efficient way to kill mold, remove odor, sanitize other harmful pathogens. It's Parrish Restoration. Go to parrishrestoration.com, parrishrestoration.com, parrishrestoration.com. The New Orleans Saints could be about to extend their lease to stay in the Dome. We're talking about that after the top of the hour.
AFR.
Yo, we're inching closer to October the 4th, and Federalis Fest is returning to Baton Rouge, and that is sponsored by our friends over at the Williamson Eye Center. Dr. Blake Williamson, a true Renaissance man there. A lot of people don't know Dr. Blake Williamson has actually done a DJ gig. He's had an air shift on the weekends on downtown radio in Baton Rouge for some time. How about that? A true virtuoso, a Renaissance man, as it were. But anyway, Federalis Fest coming up October the 4th. Some great acts that'll be there. Paul Cawthon, George Porter Jr., Sam Morrow, some regional local acts as well. So it's LSU's first buy. You can get your tickets at federalisfest.com, federalisfest.com. And it'll be at Live Oak at Cedar Lodge on Saturday, October the 4th, presented by the Williamson Eye Center. So support the community and great events like that. And, of course, getting you eye care, eyewear, and eye surgery. It's williamsoneye.com, williamsoneye.com, williamsoneye.com.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
When you can't rely on technology, you can rely on Mountain Cold Refreshment. Dave's back on. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $22,500 off MSRP on the brand new 2025 Ram 1500 Laramie with $22,500 off MSRP with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
River Parish Contractors has immediate openings for structural steel shop fabricators. Call or text Big Jake today at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com and click on employment. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
It's not just a game, it's a religion. You've got your team colors, team swag, and now your very own website. LouisianaSports.net. Everything LSU, Saints, and Pelicans. Sports on demand. In-depth coverage by sports writing pros with continuously updated news. And with the LouisianaSports.net newsletter, you get pinged directly with top trending stories. Best of all, now and always, no paywall. It's free. LouisianaSports.net. Powered by 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Your home for Louisiana sports.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. This, it's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions And learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunnyquip.com.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services.
This is SportsCenter. I'm Nick DeLuca. Getaway Day Baseball. The push for the playoffs continues. Rubber game in Toronto. Blue Jays and Astros. Toronto up 3 games in the AL East over the Yankees and the Red Sox. Astros AL West lead is 1 game over the Mariners. It's 4-0 Toronto in the bottom of the 8th. The Jays getting on the board early. Nathan Lucas and Addison Barger with RBI doubles in the first. Davis Schneider with a solo homer in the second. The story has been Kevin Gausman this afternoon. 8 scoreless innings with 9 strikeouts, has allowed just 2 hits. He is 3 outs away from a complete game shutout, just 87 pitches through the first 8 innings. In the NBA, Kawhi Leonard investigation continues. Pablo Torre reporting a Clippers limited partner paid almost $2 million to now bankrupt Aspiration within 10 days of Leonard being paid $1.75 million by the company for a no-show endorsement deal. The NBA is investigating whether owner Steve Ballmer and the Clippers violated league rules.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy, coming up Friday. I know it's only week 2, but I'll tell you the one matchup this weekend that will have huge implications for the rest of the season. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from downtown Baton Rouge.
Let's ride!
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Decision Critical, concierge nursing in Baton Rouge. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Murray. Got him. Got him. You so. Got him. And Mr. Toby Tomplay, Todd Peterson. Oh, asleep at the wheel ×2, Muse. What you got to say for yourself over there?
I mean,
Matthew Shantron Musso.
What?
I don't know.
The delay on those was not long at all.
You weren't ready.
But I wasn't so unready that I was just like, oh, God, I was like fumbling over here.
You weren't ready. You weren't ready. Matthew Cedric Musso.
No. Cedric, though. Solid name.
Matthew Barian Musso.
No.
Hey, man, after this season, you may change your name.
Right.
Tell you what. By the way, I can't remember who was calling the game last week for LSU, but can we not go with Barian?
Bro. First of all, they were just not good in general. But, I mean, no.
It was Dusty Dvorak, wasn't it? Who was the color analyst?
I'm not sure.
I watched the game with Dusty this weekend.
I think Dusty was calling like the 11 a.m. Duke and Illinois game.
That might have been it. That might have been it. Yeah, Dusty's good. I like Dusty a lot.
Yes, I do too.
Yeah, I don't know who was. Oh, it was Rocky Boyman. Was the color analyst.
There we go.
Former Notre Dame linebacker. Rocky Boyman was a Notre Dame linebacker when I was in school up there 25 years ago. I'm almost positive Rocky Boyman was in that era. Anyway, I don't know who was, but yeah, the Barion Brown. I'm like,
it was rough.
We're putting the emphasis on the wrong syllable there, friend. Like, that's why there's pronunciation guides. It's why there's SIDs. You can ask questions if you're not sure. They're there to help you.
Yeah. Yeah, they are.
Take advantage of that help, that assistance that's there. By the way, a note to everyone who still has to pronounce Clyde Edwards-Helaire's name. But thankfully, he's playing for not thankfully, I wish he was still with the Saints, but we don't have to worry about the Saints players mispronouncing Clyde Edwards or media. However, many still insist on mispronouncing Foster Moreau.
That's where I thought you were going when you started this. I didn't think you were going to Clyde.
I just don't get it. There's pronunciation guides. You have access to the players. They let you go watch practice. You talk to the coaches. You can literally say, hey, how do you say your name?
Bijan Robinson did this. Now it's Bijan.
Okay.
That's what he said. Bijan, not Bijan. Yeah.
Good
He
for
corrected everybody.
It's Bijan. We've had some of these.
Yeah.
Notably Monte Ball.
Monte Ball.
We called him Monty forever. And he said, no, it's Monte.
Tyrod Taylor.
Jadeveon Clowney.
Yeah.
I mean, even Steve Spurrier, the famous cut. You ever heard Jadeveon Clowney? I want to find that one. Golly, I want to find that cut. That was SEC Media Days when Clowney was an incoming freshman. And someone asked Steve Spurrier, who was the coach of Carolina at the time, about their pass rush. How you can rush pass? He goes, you ever heard of Davion Clowney? What year would that have been? 2010? Wasn't Clowney and Lattimore in the same class? Clowney, Lattimore, Gilmore, weren't they all in the same class? 2010? Maybe those Media Days 2010?
I think Clowney was the class after, because I think he was a freshman in 11.
He played in the game in Baton Rouge in 12.
12, for sure.
That they were number 3 in the country, and LSU beat him that day.
Maybe he was 10, because I was thinking 2013.
I got a good way to find out.
Yeah, Google it. Yeah.
You have a device in front of you, Muse, that will give you any answer in the world. You ask it anything, and it's going to tell you the answer instantly. So instead of you just meandering on here on air, how about we just find out? Yeah?
I'm
saying 2010.
Here we go.
Clowney 2010.
Commitment date, February 14th, 2011. So he was 11.
He was signed in 2011.
Yep.
So he was a sophomore in 12. So he's the number 1 pick in 2014. Of course, Houston. Yeah. Okay. All right. It's after further review. So we're going with Bijan.
Bijan, that's what he said. Yeah.
Like Dijon mustard.
Correct.
But it's actually Dijon.
Yeah, it is. See.
So Dijon, but Bijan.
Bijan. That's
Bijan.
what I heard that on the Falcons game last week.
His mama calls him Bijan. I'm calling him Bijan. That's the man's name. All right. It's after further review. Thanks for hanging out with us here. The New Orleans Saints and the state of Louisiana are nearing a new long-term lease to keep the team in New Orleans and playing at the Superdome. The New Orleans Times-Picayune had the report. Wasn't this Jeff who had it? Didn't Jeff Duncan have the report? Jeff had the report. Deal could be announced as soon as next week. So it would be a 10-year deal that would also come with a series of 4 5-year extensions as the team's option. So the team would have the option to opt into those 4 different 5-year extensions over naturally 20 years. So if the franchise would exercise all of those extensions, it would keep the Saints at the Superdome through 2055. That would be the venue's 80th birthday. Of course, it opened back in 1975 in New Orleans. The lease does include, according to this report, a relocation penalty. And that penalty would be $250 million. Now, that feels like a very steep price, but when you consider $250 million in the context of the value of a franchise and the escalating value of NFL franchises, should and when Grandma Gail were to pass and there would be a new owner of the franchise, whenever that day comes, and hopefully it's decades from now. Hopefully she lives she lives 20 more years, 30 more years, healthy, long, wonderful life. So philanthropic and giving to the city, the state, the region. It'd be amazing. But at some point, there will be a new ownership of the franchise, and whenever that comes, no doubt the franchise will be even more valuable than it is today. And that $250 million would just not feel very significant as far as a relocation fee. But the other thing about Mrs. Benson that she said many times, both with the Saints and the Pelicans, is she has no interest of selling to anyone who would have any interest in moving the team. So having this type of penalty, a 9-figure penalty for moving the team, I think is great because we all want to see the Saints stay in New Orleans forever. The really interesting thing, though, is with the Superdome and how long they might plan to stay in the Superdome. Because when you look over time, the Dome was originally built for at a cost of $134 million. Post-Katrina, there were nearly $200 million in renovations that were needed. And then they had more renovations which came in 2011 at $336 million. And now this most recent series of renovations from 2020 through 2024 was $500 million, $560 million. So the point is, with all of these renovation costs, you've spent about $1 billion. The exact is $896 million. You're at $1 billion renovating this building. At this point, you have so much invested in this building, it doesn't make a lick of sense to build a new building. So everyone gets infatuated with shiny and new, and I can certainly understand and appreciate the appeal of that. But the thing that has made New Orleans so attractive for major events and venues is you have a climate-controlled venue that can hold massive crowds in a walkable part of one of the greatest cities on the face of the earth. So that location in this building, I am very much in favor of keeping, instead of like buying land where Jazzland was and building a stadium out there and having people drive, to New Orleans East to go to a foot. No. Stay where you are for as long as you possibly can. I love the idea of the Saints staying in the Dome that long. By the way, one other note, Saints hope to get this lease signed by September the 17th, so that way they'd be in position to bid for the Super Bowl to be played in New Orleans in 2031. So that's the target for the next Super Bowl to be in New Orleans. It would be the Super Bowl in the 2030 season, the 2031 Super Bowl. Another 5 years. All right, it's after further review. We're glad you're hanging out with us here. We're brought to you by Evermore. Drink Evermore. EVAMOR, Evermore.com, Evermore.com. Love telling you about Evermore. Better yet, I love drinking Evermore. I drink 2 of these 64-ounce bottles of Evermore every single day. It keeps me hydrated. It's natural artesian water. It's a healthier alternative. I drink it. Encourage you to do so as well. You can order it online at Evermore.com, EVAMOR, Evermore.com, Evermore.com, or get at great local retailers. You can find a list of retailers near you. And if they don't have it at your favorite grocer, your favorite local retailer, ask the manager why not. Tell them they need to carry Evermore. EVAMOR, Evermore.com. All right, Sean Salisbury, who we had some phone trouble with on Tuesday, is going to join us next. I'm excited. I want to ask Sean about the Spencer Rattler-Mac Jones matchup. And Sean's a guy that has known DJ Lagway since he was a high schooler. I got to get Sean's thoughts on the sluggish start here for the former Florida five-star. We'll do that next on AFR.
AFR.
Fall is upon us, and it is time to get by and see our friends over at Clegg's Nursery. Miss Teresa emailed me earlier this week and let me know that over at Clegg's, they have got all of their fall decor in, and I am very excited about that. We always make our fall trip over there to get pumpkins and hay bales and all the stuff that Erica loves to use to decorate the entire house, and you should as well. Pumpkins, hay bales, squash, gourds, they've got all of it. They've got Johnny Naylor seeds if you want to get that fall vegetable garden planted. They got your fall bedding plants, your fall flowers. If you want something to add the beautiful pop of those earth tone colors. And also, this is the time of year to plant your fruit trees. This is the time of year to get those trees in the ground, and they've got a great selection over at Clegg's Nursery. So get by any of the 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. Seagoneer Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Buy local, shop local at Clegg's Nursery.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient. And you will have your pool in no time.
Flight by Yingling is raising the bar by crafting the next generation of light beer. With only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalvr.com.
I think everybody's just got to do their job, it's and that's whether Brock's playing or not, it just comes down to everybody executing at a high level and, keeping it that simple, not trying to do anything extremely special, but just have to have really good execution at all times. But, that's pretty much consistent every week.
A cliche-riddled answer from Christian McCaffrey about what life's going to be like without Brock Purdy this week. But I'm not sure what else we'd expect him to say. A guy who's certainly going to have an opinion is Sean Salisbury. Usually with us on Tuesday. We had some phone issues, but he's good enough to jump aboard with us here. There's a lot of ground we want to cover. Hey, man, thanks for making it work. We appreciate you for jumping back on with us, man. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Sorry about that. I don't know why, but then again, I don't get technology, so I'm glad we could hear each other today, man. Thank you.
It happens, man. Okay, so no Brock Purdy. It's going to be Mac Jones in the Superdome. How big of a drop-off there for San Francisco?
Well, depending on who you talk to, some may not think it's a drop-off because they don't hold Purdy in maybe as high a regard as I do. It's so weird because it's a guy, it's like everybody still wants to, you hear like the national narrative of, oh, man, he can't, make the plays that Josh Allen can make. Well, then again, who can?
Right.
So you go through that because he's physically limited, but he wins. And he put up good numbers. But every game, there's a throw or two that you say, why'd he do it? It happened last week. They were just fortunate to get bailed out, that Seattle didn't capitalize, and they went down and tight end made a great catch. Purdy's a really good player, but I still think we're waiting for another level. And now with the injury, you say, okay, what's the drop-off or what is the distance between the two? I take you back, Matt, and I know you know this, and you've probably talked about it with your listeners, but you remember when Mac Jones came out, that Kyle Shanahan loved him.
Yes.
He loved him when he came out. He liked his accuracy, competitiveness, all those things, and thought his athleticism was better than maybe, others would give credit for. Well, he played pretty good as a rookie, but we know now a bit of a journeyman already. But I think he fits what they want to do. I don't think you're going to notice a major drop-off. Maybe when it's, the game's on the line, if it gets to that point. But they're not going to do anything overly different because neither one are overly athletic or overly physically gifted. Both have limitations, meaning Purdy and Mac Jones. I know this, and their football IQ is both high. They're going to run it. They're going to try to get the ball to McCaffrey. They're going to try to pressure the Saints into turnovers because the Saints have a hard time scoring in the red zone, and they're not explosive right now. So they're going to put defense on them, try to get the short field, and manage Mac Jones. But I know this. I don't think Shanahan's play calling is going to deviate much, because the offense they have in is actually built for not the Josh Allen, Pat Mahomes, is built for the horizontal, throw everything on time so you don't have to hold the ball. So aside from the height difference, maybe, there's not a lot of difference. Now, the success and the team he's played for, the contract, all that stuff, because I think Purdy's a really good player, but I still think people question it. And I think they're intrigued. People are already talking about, remember when Trey Lance couldn't do it, Purdy could. And then Jimmy Garoppolo did it sometimes, and then Purdy took him. Well, maybe this is Mac Jones. I've even heard that narrative. It's like, slow your roll. They're paying him money. But that's why the backup quarterback position is so huge in this league. And the 49ers have been facing injuries more than as much to their stars as any team in this league the last couple of years. So once again, Kittle banged up. Now no Purdy. But you will not see a major difference. Maybe a few things that Mac Jones that they think maybe does better. But you're not going. Neither one of them are designed run guys. It's a timing, get the ball out, run the football, control the line of scrimmage, get the short field, hang 24, 27 on you, and get out. But you're not going to see a lot of deviation off. The jersey and the wrapper will have a different number on it, but it's not going to be a major difference in the way they approach their offense, although Purdy's a better football player.
How do you think with Mac Jones and that limited offense, again, still Brandon Ayuk still coming off the knee injury, they traded Deebo Samuel to Washington. McCaffrey's back, but how do you think that matches up against this Saints defense under Brandon Staley?
I think it's a good matchup. When I say good matchup, I don't think the Saints are going to end up with the best defense in the league, but I think I trust their defense a little bit more than I do their offense on the explosive side of it. And Staley's got experience. That's how he got the job with the Chargers in the first place. Yet he wasn't a real good time manager. Now he doesn't have to worry about that. We'll leave that to Kellen Moore in the offense. So I think
he don't know he can call timeouts at the end of a half. Sean, I don't know if you saw that.
That's exactly right. So you're going to get what you're hoping is that Kellen Moore, that the offense can not kick field goals and put more pressure on Kyle Shanahan to have to do a few things different. And what you'd like to do if you're their defense, and they've got some capabilities of doing it, is limit the run game and make Mac Jones the one dimension. If you can do that, I think you got a pretty damn good advantage. But he'll grasp the offense, so he's a veteran and gets it. But I think it's a decent matchup. The thing I'm curious about is how New Orleans on the other side, Kellen Moore, because you can't go with this conservative, man. They have got to, even though they're not, you've got to spread this. You've got to empty this bucket a little bit, because then you'll be playing into their hands. You have got to challenge them with some big chunk plays. You got to win some special teams. But the matchup for me, I think the Saints, with the injuries, I think the Saints match up well with the 49ers offense. And I think that if you can stop McCaffrey, the chances increase. But you can say that about anybody with a good run game. The other side is, how is Kellen Moore going to respond with they're pretty solid at times, but you can't play a 60-yard field. You kick field goals against the 49ers, you will lose. There's still enough weapons on their team. Both teams, in my opinion, on the perimeter, lack the home run ability that they need. We'll go find out who can grab it first this week.
Yeah, only 5 passes went beyond 20 yards for Spencer Rattler in week 1. I'm looking at 12, 18, 21, 26, 26 within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage. I mean,
Matt, now that's fine and dandy, right? I get the simple play. But if you and I are coaching defense and you watch the tape, what are you saying? They're not. It reminds me, and I don't mean this disrespectful to Rattler. I would like to see Rattler use his legs more. When he came out of high school, when he first went to Oklahoma, in high school, he was a dual threat guy. I mean, he could beat you from the pocket, but he was good in Arizona. Strong kid with some pretty decent feet. I'd like to see them in the red zone attack a little bit more, just a little bit more with his legs. But when you're attacking a defense and you play horizontal football all the time, that's fine to get completions. But we saw it at the end of Drew Brees' career, and I'm not comparing Rattler to Brees by any stretch. One's as accurate as we've ever seen. One's still working on his game. Drew just they couldn't push it vertically anymore. You know that. The last year, they were they played horizontal football. They did. And so you could squeeze them. And even how as accurate as he is, it was catch and tackle. And they didn't make as many big plays as we'd seen in the past. That they could manufacture play action and do some things. And Sean Payton dial up Drew Brees and put him in his strengths. That they just didn't have the vertical attack. But if you keep doing this and they keep squeezing you, then it's 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7. They can press you, force you to throw a hot tackle, make you punt. So even if you don't get completions, which you need, you still have to at least attack vertically to give yourself more separation. Because I'm going into this game, if I am the 49ers, saying, prove it. You prove to me that your receivers can beat my guys on the edge, but that you're going to attack me vertically. Because if you just playing horizontal football and you're not running it great, you're going to be doing a lot of punting or kicking a lot of field goals. I think they have to step out. And what I think Kellen Moore needs to do, treat it like you got the Dallas Cowboys offense and put them at the top of the league, even though you don't. When he was a coordinator there, or in Philly when you had that band, you have got to attack and almost force the hand without being, careless with the football. And that's going to fall back on Rattler to know when those shots are called. You take them when they're there, but you have to at least threaten them deep and take some shots. You do.
He's Sean Salisbury. Rattler was 1 for 5 for 21 yards on passes beyond 20 yards. It
won't be enough.
Yeah.
Won't be enough, even with Mac Jones.
He's on Twitter at Sean Unfiltered, Sports Talk 790 in Houston, host of the Sean Salisbury Show. Also Unpaved on Rumble. Check that on YouTube. Subscribe to Sean Salisbury Unpaved on YouTube. One guy that I'm excited about this week, Sean, because I know we've talked about it in the past. You had a chance to work with DJ Lagway when he was a high school recruit. And he's coming into Baton Rouge this week to take on the Tigers and a really good LSU defense. Lagway looks really rusty through the first 2 weeks. He didn't go through spring, didn't go through fall. What is realistic to think, how quickly can he catch up here, Sean, in season after really not even doing football-adjacent things for 8 months?
Yeah, it's hard. And I can tell you one thing, he don't want to do it there. This ain't the place, man. Yet, just when you say that, this is when guys that are talented like him figure it out. Florida's not very good. Matter of fact, worse than we. And I'm not telling you anything you don't know. One thing that goes with this, that's coupled with this, I keep wondering, and I like Billy Napier. I do. And I know you know him as well. And he cut his teeth calling plays and knows offensive football. Man, I feel like they look overwhelmed doing – at what point in time does Billy Napier decide that to hire somebody he trusts to call the plays?
Yeah.
Because in truth, when they have struggled, remove Lagway from this equation for a second and think about Florida's offense over the last few years, just up and down, right, Matt? Without Lagway, the consistency of, attacking and getting after it. I actually think now, I know when Richardson was there, he took it to another level, but he took it to another level with his legs, an extraordinary athlete, and was able to do it and help you expand it. I almost feel like Billy needs to define roles and maybe just be the head coach, because I almost feel like it's just too much, and you're coming with a guy didn't get a lot of work. You're trying to get healthy against the team. You are reeling right now, so there's a desperate feeling, not only for him, but in Florida. Lagway's better than this offense has played, but the confidence of making that first move, of buying some time for a guy that's got good size, is still pretty damn good with his legs. But this is a tough place to get it. And they are going to come after him, and they're going to challenge to see if that rust is still there. I would think that for Florida, for me, and it's not going to happen because Billy's resisting it, at what point in time does he say, let me focus on the overall picture of my football team and change up the play caller? Because right now the rhythm is awful. And at times when it's been going bad for Florida over the last, when the quarterback's either hurt or they're not playing well, the offense is exposed. And I just think there's something, you talk about rigid. It looks like their offense took a full off season and hasn't played any football either. But there is the danger when you got a guy as gifted as Lagway. And I'm telling you, and when I worked with him, I've told you this before, a great kid who will not blame anybody. And he'll make some throws in the game that you'll say, okay, I get it. But the question is, how many of them can he make and how much movement can he give? I think that this is going to be a very difficult task. Give me LSU and by a lot, whatever that means now in college football. This is not the place you want to get right. LSU is one of the best teams. You can make an argument as good as anybody in the country. And Florida right now is playing in a desperate situation. Billy has to have his best play calling game, or they're going to go home and with another loss, which I expect anyway. This is a mismatch to the fullest extent, considering your quarterback doesn't feel like he's at full strength, and they're play calling on offense. I think that they'll be lucky to get out of there with 2 or 3 touchdowns. I think this is a win for LSU, although LSU's got to treat it like Lagway's playing at a top level, because he is capable of carrying the team on his shoulders for a game.
Yeah, a desperate Florida team after an embarrassing loss. It'll be interesting to see how this goes early. Hey, before you go, I'd love a thought on tonight's game. JD5, people here, of course, are just smitten. We love to see what Jaden's doing, but at Lambeau, it's a tough ask here tonight.
This is a friggin' great early season game, isn't it, Matt? Yeah. After knowing what the Packers were all about going in last week and then adding Parsons, I don't think any of us thought they were that good. Man. I mean, I knew they were good, but they are. I mean, you talk about Philly and the Rams. The Packers are in that team picture. And on the other side of it, you know how I feel about Daniels. He didn't even play his best game last week, and still things happen. There's always movement. You have to defend the full field because his legs are so ridiculous. And he feels like a guy who's been in the league 7-8 years. Great quarterback matchup. Advantage because the defense, and you're playing a Green Bay. I think Green Bay's a little better, but I'm going to tell you this. If you over pursue and let Jaden Daniels do his thing, we could be looking at something different. But this is a great matchup of two teams that with the right breaks and healthy could find themselves playing in late January in an NFC championship type game. I think Green Bay's the best team in the North, and I think Washington has closed the gap on Philadelphia in the East. I really do.
Packers are a 3.5-point home favorite, kind of like Jaden Daniels with them points, man.
Oh, brother, I'm telling you right now, anybody, if you're betting against him, I'd be. If any of my buddies want some of that action, I'm willing to take some of it because I am with you. I think he's the best second-year quarterback and young quarterback under 25 that we have in the league, and that's saying something. That I got C.J. Stroud here. Jaden Daniels is special, as you know how I feel about him.
He's on Twitter at Sean Unfiltered. Y'all give him a follow. Make sure you get to YouTube and subscribe to Unpaved, Sean Salisbury, Unpaved on YouTube. Hey, man, we always appreciate it. Thanks for squeezing us in here on this Thursday, man.
Thank you. And to all our first responders on a day like this, that we all know never leaves us, God bless you. And the pictures tell the story every year, and it's never easy, but we the real heroes. So I just wanted to thank them from the bottom of my heart for all they do, man. I really do.
Amen. Thanks, Sean. We'll talk soon.
Appreciate it, brother. Thank you.
That is Sean Salisbury. It's After Further Review. Thursday shows are presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. It's not just healthcare; it's healthcare for your lifestyle, from birth to end-of-life care, maybe a critical illness diagnosis. Their expertly trained nurses will come in-home, at the hospital, wherever you need them. It is true concierge nursing. They always look to make sure they match your insurance first before they go fill the gaps. Learn more. Schedule that call. DecisionCriticalBR.com. Okay, we're going to knock out a quick break. Muse, Paulie, and I will do it every Thursday. Football weekend getting started. 3 things what to watch. We'll do it next on AFR.
After Further Review.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. If you've been injured in an accident, it's not your fault. Do what injured people in our state have done for 3 decades. Get Gordon and get it done. The G team is growing. Garrett Nussmeier is now part of the G team. You can see the sit-down interview with Gordon and Garrett, the G's on the G team. They're on the Gordon McKernan YouTube channel. Clips on all the social media as well. At Get Gordon, at Get Gordon. It's not too late to enter the Get Gordon billboard design contest. Go to getgordon.com, getgordon.com. Actually, it's getgordon.com/billboards. That's the specific URL. Getgordon.com/billboards. If you want to see more there about how you can enter, all the rules, you can win up to $2,000 in prizes. You can get a donation made to the charity of your choice. And, of course, your billboard seen all over town. GetGordon.com/billboards. GetGordon.com/billboards. You know what to do. Get Gordon and get it done.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Businesses like yours are the soul of our community. You deserve someone who'll deliver the internet services you deserve. That's why local businesses rely on Rev Business, 90 years of building connections. Visit us at letsrev.biz.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Rolling along here on a Thursday edition of AFR. Every single week on Thursday, as we kick off your football weekend, Muse, Paulie, and I each give you 3 things to keep an eye on this football weekend. We call it What to Watch. Let's do it.
Here's what we're watching this football weekend.
All righty then. Matthew, Aaron, Muso, get us started there.
Will do. Starting with Bengals.
I nailed it.
No, you didn't. It's not.
Well, you didn't correct me.
I said no.
Oh, I'm sorry. Matthew, Aaron, Muso.
No. All right. Bengals,
Matthew,
Jaguars.
Balake, Muso.
No. But we can go to war.
War, Balake.
All right, Bengals, Jaguars on Sunday, noon kickoff for that one.
So good.
It's Joe Burrow and Trevor Lawrence. It's
Why
a
is it
rematch
still so
of the
good?
national championship game in 2019.
Oh, look at
it's
that.
happened one time.
I was wondering why you put that. I'm like, what?
It's happened just one time before. That was in 2021. Joe Burrow and the Bengals, they got the best of the Jags and Lawrence. Joe threw for over 300 yards. It was a 24-21 final. This is the third iteration of it. Let's see how it goes. I'm kind of intrigued.
Wait, I thought you said it happened once before.
Well, I mean, if you count the championship game in 19. But yes, in the NFL, this is just number 2. So Joe's got the one-up lead in the pros. See if Trevor Lawrence can even the score.
It feels like a bit of a stretch, but okay. We'll keep an eye. We're keeping an eye on my Super Bowl champion Cincinnati Bengals.
Correct. You picked them, yes. I picked the Jags to win their division.
Whatever, Muse. Paulie.
I'm going to the college game. I'm watching Arkansas and Ole Miss. Ole Miss is looking to add another SEC win to the early season resume while Arkansas begins SEC play. Both offenses right now are averaging over 575 yards per game. And both defenses have strong red zone wins, or rankings, I should say. Ole Miss ranks 15th. Arkansas ranks 5th in red zone defense. Can Ole Miss keep it rolling under Austin Simmons, or can Taylon Green play spoiler and upset the Rebels in Oxford?
It's a sneaky good game. So too is Clemson, Georgia Tech. That line has really plummeted. Georgia Tech's team will come out and punch in the face. I'm curious if Clemson is actually a contender. We asked this all offseason. You looked at Clemson a year ago. That was a 9-3 football team. They were put in a chokehold by Georgia where they scored 3 points. They lost on their home field to Louisville. They lost on their home field to South Carolina. They only got in the ACC championship game because Miami choked at Syracuse and they had to beat SMU. Congrats. They get in the playoff. They go to Texas. They get their ass kicked. Is Clemson really good? I don't know. I was always sort of 50-50. LSU and Clemson played a really great ball game week 1. LSU won it. Clemson goes out. They sleepwalk for a half, come out, and kick the crap out of Troy in the second half. Okay. Now you're going on the road against a Georgia Tech team that is a really physical team. If Clemson sleepwalks, they will lose that game to Georgia Tech. We're going to find out if Clemson is actually a national title contender this week, because if they are, with their talent, they should beat Georgia Tech on the road by double digits. I'm more interested in Georgia Tech's what they are. They're a good team. But this is going to be a game where we find out if Clemson is actually a national championship contender, because if you are, you're going to go to Atlanta and you're going to take care of business in a big way.
Sneaky good one Saturday night is Tulane hosting Duke down in Yeoman. This is Darian Mintz's return to Tulane. I mean, it was awesome for the Green Wave a year ago. Enters the portal. Kind of somewhat surprisingly lands at Duke. But now we'll go back. They want to pack Yeoman. We'll see if they can get that accomplished. This is huge for Tulane, too. Remember, there are 3 Power 4 games in the non-conference. They've already beaten Northwestern, and they beat Duke as well and extract some revenge in the process.
I went to Duke.
Yeah, but I mean, there's plenty of
They dropped $3 million
programs.
on him.
Yeah, I get
Garrett
that.
Nussmeier ain't making $3 million at
Yeah,
LSU.
well, that's fair.
He's making half that number.
That's fair.
$3 million. I mean, people ain't throwing around $3 million.
Yeah.
Paulie, number 2.
I'm going back to the NFL. Broncos and Colts. Colts were probably the biggest surprise team of week 1.
That's fair. That's fair.
They smoked the Dolphins with Danny Jones.
Danny Dimes. Well, the Dolphins stink.
True.
They're
going to fire their coach and they stink. But still, Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Threw for 272 and 1 touchdown, but he also ran for 2 touchdowns. Are the Colts for real? Can they make an early lead in the AFC South against Sean Payton and the New Orleans Broncos?
Well done, Paulie. Okay. There's 3 really big games in the SEC. Everybody knows, right? A&M's going to Notre Dame, Georgia, Tennessee, LSU, Florida. Paulie already mentioned Arkansas, Ole Miss. I cannot wait to see what happens with Vandy, South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And it sucks. It's on the same time that LSU's playing. And also Ole Miss, Arkansas. That 6:30 window is way too crowded. The schedule makers did an awful job of spacing these out this weekend. Anyway, initially I picked Vandy to beat Virginia Tech, and I texted Marler Saturday morning. I was like, hey, change my pick. Pick it to Virginia Tech. And when Virginia Tech was up double digits half, I'm like, I figured, yeah, Vandy. And then Vandy came out and beat the crap out of Virginia Tech in the second half on their home. What was it, 44-20? Ended up being the final. Like, okay. Now, y'all know how I feel about South Carolina. I think they're a total fraud. Lost a bunch on defense. Lenora Sellers, Rex Specs, he stinks. Really good athlete, not a good quarterback. They couldn't move the ball against South Carolina State. They had 2 punt return touchdowns against a MEAC school, which is how they got their margin. Like, they stink on offense right now. If Vandy goes to Columbia and does what they did last week in Blacksburg, Vandy is going to beat South Carolina. And then so then we know, all right, South Carolina, you're a fraud. You thought you're a contender. You're not, get away. What is Vandy? If you thought South Carolina's a contender, they're ranked 11th in the country, and Vandy goes into Columbia and puts it on them. Now we got to have a conversation about Vanderbilt. So I know everybody's going to be watching Florida and LSU and probably Arkansas, Ole Miss and other stuff, but not like, make sure you keep one eye on that Vandy, South Carolina game. It's going to tell us a lot about those 2 teams.
All right, I'm going to go quick here. South Florida, Miami, not for the reason that people are thinking, where it's like, oh, do you really want to see South Florida win? No, I want to see if they finally have the letdown and Miami covers the 17.5. I mean, 2 massive wins. Eventually, you would think.
Or maybe they're good.
Or maybe they're really good. But we'll see. I'm very curious if this is kind of like the clock striking midnight, though.
Yeah, I think Miami's going to beat the crap out of them.
So do I.
We get a week 2 Super Bowl rematch. Eagles and Chiefs. Eagles had a hard-fought win against Dallas in week 1. The Chiefs struggled in Brazil against the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
Chiefs are in jeopardy of starting the season 0-2. Can they get that offense rolling against a tough Philly defense?
Yeah, I'm looking at contenders bouncing back, right? The Chiefs would be one of them. Chiefs are staring down a barrel of 0-2 to start the season. Baltimore, brutal loss on Sunday Night Football there on the road at Buffalo. Can Baltimore can Baltimore bounce back here in week 2? And then also Detroit was the other one that I was keeping an eye on after an embarrassing performance at Lambeau. They're at home against the Chicago Bears. So bounce back weekend for Contenders. How do they do? That's what I'll be keeping an eye on this weekend. All right, there you have it. That's what to watch this weekend in the National Football League. All right, it's After Further Review. We're glad you're with us. We're brought to you by South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com, southpointvw.com. They're Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer. So if you ever thought about a Volkswagen, or if you've never thought about a Volkswagen, put a Volkswagen on your list. You'll understand why there's such brand loyalty among people who drive Volkswagens. 9 different IIHS top safety picks, the highest safety designation, the great German engineering without the cost, and a great price as well. So you drive luxury without the cost, and you get great service, and they're fun to drive as well. And Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer is South Point Volkswagen. So shop them online. Remember, if it's on the lot, it's online at southpointvw.com, southpointvw.com. Shop them online, work out your financing online. It's all there. Then go test drive one. Airline just north of Highland. South Point Volkswagen, what's your direction? All right, y'all. Glad to have you hanging out. Oh, my God, why do I always do this? We got Lee Sterling related to AFR.
After further review.
Gotta remind me, man. Golly, that's my fault. All right, Duplessis Builders, DuplessisBuilders.net, DuplessisBuilders.net. We appreciate our friends over at Duplessis Builders. Build a pool. Lee Sterling in the game. Lee Sterling. Derek Duplessis. I'm looking at the sheet where it says Lee Sterling. Derek Duplessis and the gang. Focus. Derek Duplessis and the gang over at Duplessis Builders. They'll build you a beautiful pool. But whoop-de-doo. A lot of people build beautiful pools. Literally. Go look at any pool company on Instagram. Go, any of them. Just Google any pool company. You're going to see beautiful pools. Oh, wow. Beautiful pools. Yes, everybody builds beautiful pools. They all do. Duplessis builds beautiful pools. Everybody does. But the difference with Duplessis, number one, is the workmanship. Derek is a mechanical engineer by trade. He was an engineer before he started his pool company. And the quality of the work they do lasts. They offer a 10-year workmanship warranty when the industry standard is 1 year. They're going to build you something beautiful that lasts, and they support the Tigers. Trade as green, member of the Duplessis team. DuplessisBuilders.net.
104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and First American Bank and Trust bring you the Heart of the Game Award, recognizing student athletes who deliver when it counts. Nominate your game day standout at 1045ESPN.com by the 21st. We'll choose 5 male and 5 female finalists, and then it's up to the fans to vote for the winners. Each winner gets a $250 gift card, a custom award, and the spotlight they've earned. Presented by First American Bank and Trust, a banking tradition since 1910.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
River Parish Contractors has immediate openings for structural steel shop fabricators. Call or text Big Jake today at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com and click on employment. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac. Our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Place your bets, gentlemen.
It's time to head to the window.
Don't gamble it all in one place.
This is Lee Sterling's Best Bets, brought to you by Paramount Sports.
Wrapping up hour number 2. We got 6 minutes and 6 games to discuss. We welcome on Lee Sterling, ParamountSports.com. How are you, Lee?
I'm good. I am ready to go. We're going to find out if Billy Napier is going to be around.
Let's just start with it. Tigers hosting the Gators. We've seen that number come down, the total come down. What do you think?
Here's the problem if you're going to back Florida. They could just fall apart. I also think that DJ Lagway, something's going on with his leg. He's wearing that white sleeve on his left leg. He's not moving around like he normally does. Missed a couple weeks of fall camp. I think this LSU defensive speed, especially at linebacker, has made them elite. I think this is the game that LSU's kids circled and said, we must have this game. I think Billy Napier's working on borrowed time, revenge in a couple weeks. Goodbye, Sunbelt Billy. LSU, 31-14.
Big. I love it. Please, from your lips to God's ears. There's 3 giant games in the SEC. Georgia at Tennessee is another one. The young Bullpups are a 3.5-point favorite at Neyland. What do you think?
It's set up to be, a big, easy Georgia win. Georgia loses their quarterback. They love this quarterback, Gunnar Stockton, think he's the emotional leader. But I think he's just a jag. I think the receivers are better. They've dropped less balls than last year when they led the nation with 30 drops. But they beat no one. They beat a Marshall team. The entire team scattered, and most of them went with their head coach to Southern Miss. We don't know much about them. Joey Aguilar, by default, at the last second, ended up becoming the guy. They're going to carry him off in victory. Georgia is going to lose for the first time in 9 years. Wrong team favored.
Wow.
Tennessee 27-20.
Love it. Lee Sterling, ParamountSports.com. The other big one in the league is A&M on the road in South Bend, where the Irish have been really good at home. Notre Dame is a touchdown home favorite here against the Aggies.
And against Miami, they didn't look bad. I mean, they played Miami, and Miami played about as well as they could play. They had to face a top 5, I think, Miami offensive line, a really good trio of running backs, held them to 3.5 yards per carry, and they have a bye to get ready for this game. The only 2 games where Marcel Reed faced top-level defenses last year, Texas and South Carolina, he just wasn't good enough. Notre Dame 30-17.
Wow, big win for the Irish. I am fascinated with some of the quote-unquote lesser games in the SEC because that is going to tell us a lot about where these teams actually stand in the national pecking order. How about Ole Miss hosting Arkansas? Arkansas, which has blown the doors off of their 2 opponents. Now they haven't played a team with a pulse. Now you go on the road to Oxford. What are we going to learn about these 2 teams?
They couldn't match up last year. I mean, Jackson Dart threw for 515 yards here. The reason this could be a blowout is pace of play. Both teams are in top 20 of pace of play. I know the injury, obviously, the Ole Miss quarterback could affect this game, but if he's a go, I think you take a shot on him here. I think they roll just like they did last year, especially at home, and they learned a lot off hanging around and getting the win last week against Kentucky. I like Ole Miss 38-28.
Bam, it's a big number. Bama 20.5 hosting Wisconsin. Wisconsin's quarterback may not play. You think the Tide cruise here?
I don't think it matters who's their quarterback. I think Danny O'Neill's going to play, and he's fine. But, he was 14 for 30 for 155 yards and 2 interceptions. Comes over from San Diego State. They haven't been able to track a top quarterback. Also, their running game is not the classic Wisconsin running game we used to love. Alabama beat Louisiana Monroe High School 73-0. They need another big win, maybe 2, to keep the fans and the press off them Alabama 38-10.
And Vandy goes to South Carolina. Lee, this is maybe my favorite game on the card outside of the big ones. Is South Carolina for real? Vandy puts 44 on Virginia Tech in Blacksburg. What do we see there Saturday night in Columbia?
Well, here's an interesting stat from last week. Top 5 quarterbacks projected to go in the draft, all of them did not cover. Guys like Norris Sellers and Arch Manning were non-covers last year with a big spread. So this line is close. We're going to find out which quarterback has the goods, Sellers or Pavia. First 5 callers to call 800-400-9741. Get it for free. And we hit our 40-unit play last week.
Let's
max
go.
Wager. We have a 50-unit max wager, our biggest play in 3 years. Going. I'm gonna email you the game. I was watching the film. This line is off by 2 or 3 touchdowns. You want to get involved? Check us out, ParamountSports.com.
I'm sorry, 2 or 3 touchdowns?
Touchdown. Yep. Watch the tape. I'm going to send you. I'm going to send you the game. You watch. Go on YouTube and watch the 22-minute version of both of these two teams' games last week. And there's some injuries involved. Trust me, this is going to be easy peasy.
ParamountSports.com, ParamountSports.com. He is Lee Sterling. Thank you, Lee.
Okay. See you guys.
AFR.
Brought to you by First South Farm Credit, First South Land. Did he say touchdowns? Oh, okay. I mean, that's put it out there. First South Land. Hey, you go buy you some land. Go all in on this game. A 50-unit play. Brother, that's about as confident as I have ever heard a prognosticator, a sharp, put out a line. Almost as confident as our friends at First South Farm Credit when it comes to helping you buy land. Because as long as Lee Sterling has been helping people be on the right side, not as long as First South Farm Credit's been helping Louisianians buy land. That's been happening since 1916, more than 100 years. So if you're thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthLand.com.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Parrish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parrishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parrishbuilt.com.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. It's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
While Louisiana politics can seem like they're from another planet, Moon Griffon isn't afraid to bring politicians back down to earth. Listen to the Moon Griffon Show weekday mornings at 9. on Talk 107.3.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Mornings with Brian Haldane is the only live and local talk show in the capital city. Get the news from the newsmakers, along with traffic and weather updates throughout the morning. The conversation starts weekday mornings at 6 on Talk 107.3.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Nick DeLuca. Afternoon baseball. Kevin Gausman going the distance.
Now pitch 100. On the ground at first. Picked by Vladdy. He goes to the bat. And Kevin Gausman has pitched a shutout. 6-0 the Blue Jays win. It's a good day to be a Toronto Blue Jay and a great day to be Kevin Gausman, who leads them to a series win.
Sportsnet 590, the fan on the call. Gausman struck out 9, allowing just 2 hits and 1 walk. Davis Schneider homered and drove in 2. Astros now just a half game in front of the Mariners in the AL West after dropping 2 of 3. Seattle hosting the Angels with a chance to move into a tie tonight. Elsewhere, Yankees shortstop Anthony Volpe has a torn labrum in his left shoulder. Manager Aaron Boone expecting him to play through it. Had a cortisone shot yesterday. His 81 WRC plus, 141st of 146 qualified hitters this season. While in the NFL, Chiefs receiver Xavier Worthy returning to practice as a limited participant today, dealing with the shoulder injury he suffered in Friday's loss.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. At Progressive, we offer auto, home, and commercial auto insurance, plus a variety of business insurance options to cover your small business needs and more. Visit Progressive.com today.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from downtown Baton Rouge.
Let's ride!
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us, AFR. Presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Yes, sir. And Mr. Toby Town on plate. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you're driving home with us. By the way, if you missed it at the end of the hour, Lee Sterling was just with us. Vanderbilt, South Carolina said it's his game of the week. A 50-unit play. He said he'd give it to the first 5 people free. 800-400-9741. 800-400-9741. 800-400-9741 if you want to dial that number and get that play for free. I got to get, he got my 50 units. He got my attention with that. 800-400-9741. All right, let's head to Gainesville. Check in on the Gators. Hit it, Muse.
The Tigers are on the hunt. Let's head behind enemy lines to preview this week's matchup.
A man who might just be wearing purple and gold underwear and socks in the press box on Saturday night. I don't know. Sean Kelly, the voice of the Gators, good enough to join us for a couple of minutes here. Hey, man, how are you?
I'm good. The only thing purple and gold was the money that I spent for that university in my daughter's education.
I love it so much. Okay, let me just start with a vibe check, man. Everybody knows what happened last week. The big question is, how do they bounce back? Kids are resilient and all that stuff. What's it been like around the program this week?
The Gators are terrible. They'll never win another game again. Billy Napier should be sent off into another country. What else? No, that's about it. That's how it's felt.
Oh, man. What about with the team, though? The team, the coaches. Fan reaction is going to be what it is. But what about, internally there?
Frustration initially, kind of, down on themselves. But then I started to sense exactly what I felt last year when they kind of turned their season around. So a lot of those same names and faces are involved. And so there's been a progressive galvanization, if you will, kind of felt in the building as we've gone about the week. They know what lies in front of them. They all know who else is who on their schedule and everything else. But I think they're leaning a little bit on what they did last year, which was get it turned around, get it fixed.
Sean, of course, it's going to start with DJ Lagway playing like the immense talent that he is. Can you kind of give us some context here, Sean, on Lagway and maybe how far behind he was whenever he first stepped on the practice field about 3 weeks ago after the injury?
Yeah, I just think like anybody else, if you're that limited in the offseason and your whole offseason is spent on a throwing program for the shoulder, or you're trying to get over a sports hernia surgery, or you've got a pulled calf muscle come summertime, and you don't even get really your full go, you're ready to roll till 9 days before the opener, I think you're probably going to feel a little clunky. And I think that's shown in his play a little bit. And let's be real, he's played 6 quarters of football, and heck, in quarter number 1 last week, they played 1 offensive series. So there hasn't been a whole lot of time on task. And I have noticed here with Lagway, kind of like with the freshman Vernell Brown, there's these unique talents, these guys that have this ability to be better the very next day. So every practice now, he shows, in Lagway's case, more to be like himself, more to what we witnessed in flashes last year.
Sean Kelly's with us, the voice of the Gators. What's the strength of that offense this year, Sean?
It's a question that I could have answered very well for you 2 weeks ago, and now I need to see more. But the strength of the offense was what was around Lagway. Experienced offensive line, All-American at center, 4 returning starters, all this speed and talent at wide receiver, and then this running back room that seems to have this endless depth. And so I felt like it was an offense that was going to score, not at will, and not like LSU 2 years ago, but be very effective, especially with Lagway at the controls. So now, with Lagway being kind of behind a little bit and the offensive line not quite showing what I thought they were initially, there's still question marks. Those start to get answered against big competition this week.
Yeah, the big competition on that LSU defense has been really impressive, man. But I think the question here, Sean, that everybody's asking is when you flip that matchup, right? Because LSU dominated the yardstick a year ago. I mean, 42 minutes time of possession, the whole deal. They couldn't finish drives because that Florida defensive line just wrecked stuff. 7 sacks, 11 TFLs, the whole bit. When you look at that matchup with who's back and who's gone from that team a year ago, how much does that defensive front from Florida resemble what LSU faced a year ago in the Swamp?
It actually is probably better than what they faced a year ago, in the fact that I think the edge is a really strong position right now for Florida, and that's led by Tyreek Sapp. They've got this freak freshman named Jaden Woods. They've got another guy that's not buying his shirts off the rack named Kofi Asar. The linebackers have been very solid. And now, here this week, the Gators get back Caleb Banks, who projects to be a first or second rounder at defensive tackle, and he was a part of that mess that Florida made of LSU's offensive line last year. So, with that being said, LSU's line is awfully different than a year ago, too. And I have questions about LSU's center this week, as does everybody.
Yeah.
And they've had some problems running the football a little bit. We'll see. I think that probably you've hit on the biggest question mark going into the weekend.
I don't think there's any doubt. If LSU can keep Garrett Nussmeier upright, it could be a one-sided affair, but that's a big if. What about Florida in the secondary? Because LSU has this shocker. LSU has good receivers. But this might be as deep a room, Sean, of really good receivers as I've covered at LSU. They probably got 7 guys that are interchangeable that could at any point be your number 1 guy.
Yeah, and they can hurt you in different ways too, right? So not only can they take the top off, but I just think with Nussmeier, his intermediate game is going to be more effective this season with this particular group. And sure enough, they're using receivers in different kind of run packages and just different ways to find them the ball. At least that's what I've been able to try and discern through 2 games. Defensively for the Gators in the secondary, Jordan Castell, free safety, will make his 26th consecutive start. And so Gators fans have had to watch him go through the growing pains of starting right away his freshman year. He and Bryce Thornton together now have been through so many games together that experience is starting to pay off. And the corners are healthy, which was not the case a big chunk of the last 2 years. So Dede Johnson at one corner, Devin Moore at the other. And then here's Cormani McClain. What a story this kid is. Lakeland guy, 5-star, goes to play for Sanders at Colorado, doesn't work out, and he comes back home, if you will, as a preferred walk-on to see if he can get back right. And he played a little bit before getting hurt last year and then makes this monster offseason step. So he's a better tackler, he knows the game more, and then all the things that everybody was excited about when he came out of high school, they're already there. So I feel like the Gators are better equipped, but how equipped can you be when you face that LSU wide receiver room? It's interesting, and it goes back to what you just talked about. Will Nussmeier have enough time to make sure his receivers hurt the Gators? And does the defensive front of Florida make sure they don't leave their secondary out to dry against those guys?
Sean, I got two more things for you. Your time much appreciated. The voice of the Gators, Sean Kelly's with us. Special teams, if it is a close game, the third phase could obviously be huge. How are the Gators there?
Steady. Obviously, last week was weird. The best long snapper in the country, the Manley Award winner, sends one through the back of the end zone. It was on this stack of stuff last week that I just couldn't believe what I was watching. But for the most part, they're pretty good. Trey Smack has got a new holder in the new punter and Tommy Bowman, who transferred from Michigan. He can bomb it, and Smack's good from about 58 on in. Billy Napier said it yesterday. He thinks special teams this week, they're always important, but maybe even an extra tick this week. And after talking to Florida's special teams coordinator today, there's a ton of respect for what LSU does special teams-wise, too.
Sean, before you go, we've tap danced around this a bit, but if there's a blueprint for Billy Napier to come in and get what might be the most significant win of his time at Florida, considering all things, I don't know that that's an exaggeration. I don't think that's hyperbole if they were to get it this weekend. What does that blueprint look like?
First of all, it's not an exaggeration. It would be the signature road win that he has been searching for, especially in that place, especially due to the fact that Florida has not won there at night since 2009. Think about that for a second. Wow. The blueprint is this. It's control the line of scrimmage, and DJ Lagway has got to have a coming back out party. I mean, he's had some coming out parties, but he's got to look the way he did on the road at Tennessee last year when he almost came off the bench and beat him at Rocky Top. So I think that's the blueprint, really. It's the line of scrimmage, and Lagway's got to have a much better day than he's had in these first 6 quarters he's played this year.
He is Sean Kelly. It's always great to hear your voice, man. It's great to catch up. We appreciate the time. Have a great call on Saturday night.
Thank you. Good to be back. I will look forward to my visit.
All right, man. We'll see you soon. That's Sean Kelly, voice of the Gators. You hear him on ESPN national broadcasts as well, of course, called Pell's Games for a lot of years. Great guy. We always appreciate the insight. Yeah, one of the things we will talk about more that we haven't yet is you sort of ration content throughout the week as you sort of approach a game from every angle. One of the things we haven't done yet that Sean alluded to that we are going to talk about on tomorrow's show is Florida's road record under Billy Napier. And if there is something that is a heavy lean toward LSU, if you look for trends, it is just that. And without giving it all away, which we'll dive more into tomorrow, it just doesn't exist. They don't have a marquee road win under Billy Napier. And Lagway didn't have one last year. It was just dramatic. They beat LSU at home. They beat Ole Miss at home. They did win at Florida State, but that was a 2-10 Florida State team. That was not a very – no one would look at that and say that was a quality road win a season ago. They won the bowl game. They got to overcome an awful lot of history stacked against them. Florida does if they're going to win this game Saturday night in Tiger Stadium. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com, lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. At Lee Michaels, of course, they're so fond of what they call the Lee Michaels experience. You know, they never want you to walk in and feel pressured into buying something. That's not what they do. They want you to be thrilled to walk in the door. They don't want a pushy salesman forcing you or pressuring you into a buy. They want you to try on 1,000 things and feel comfortable with what you're and thrilled with what you're walking out the door. If you're buying an engagement ring, I mean, this is a piece of jewelry that she's going to wear forever, that you hope to pass down to generations of your family. The experience of buying that piece of jewelry should be a great one. That's the Lee Michaels experience. Best selection, the best prices. It's Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. 10 locations in all: Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Lafayette, Shreveport, and online at lmfj.com. lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Okay, y'all, it is After Further Review. We are presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. Mike Triplett's here in 15 minutes. We'll get to the Saints-Niners injury report. If you haven't heard, Brock Purdy, all the reports are he will be out for the game. It will, in fact, be Mac Jones starting for the Niners in the Dome on Sunday. We'll take a look at things from the Saints' perspective, including Jonas Sanker getting the opportunity to start at safety this weekend. The rookie third-round pick is going to have a big opportunity for New Orleans. We'll dive into all that with Mike Triplett coming up here in 15 minutes from right now. Don't you move. It's AFR.
AFR.
Okay, it's time. Get out your phone, or if you're at your laptop, go to your browser. I want you to type in agent225.com, agent225.com. You've heard me say this before. We're actually going to do the exercise right now. I'm going to do it with you to prove you can do this in 30 seconds. You're going to go to agent225.com, type it in your browser, and then when you go on the home page, you're going to see the home value tab right there on the home page. There's a home value tab. You click that button, you type in your address, and for a lot of you, if you're on your phone, you probably already got it programmed into your phone. Type in your address, and then just hit enter, and in seconds, you will have your home's value and the appraisal value right there. It's that simple. I mean, I just got mine in literally 30 seconds. If you want to buy a home, you need to know what your home is worth first. You can find that out in seconds at agent225.com, agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darin James.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
When it comes to pipe fabrication, time is money. And at River Parish Contractors, we make every second count. Our 36,000 square foot shop is ready to take on your projects right now. With experienced welders, precise fittings, and fast turnarounds you can trust. Whether it's a single custom spool or a full-scale run, we have the capacity and the skill to keep your job on schedule. Call us or visit rpcontractors.com for your quote. That's rpcontractors.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $22,500 off MSRP on the brand new 2025 Ram 1500 Laramie with $22,500 off MSRP with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Baton Rouge's home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. And the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. and we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Tiger Country is 100.7 The Tiger. In the car on 100.7 FM or on the 100.7 The Tiger.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Brian Kelly set to meet with reporters here on this Thursday evening as soon as they're done with practice, and then he'll head over to the coaches show. So we'll find out from BK the injury latest. Braylon Moore is the big one that we're all keeping an eye on. I texted with Mike D earlier today. Many of you know, if you've listened to the show for any length of time, number of years, Mike Detillier has the old betting angle that was old Buddy D's betting angle from years ago that a team that loses their starting center fails to cover 80% of the time. Now, I asked Mike, I was like, hey, Mike, can we just apply this to last week? Because LSU played the game without their starting center after the first play. And he said not so fast. So Mike D's pick was in for LSU to win, but he likes Florida with the points. Lease Sterling was with us just a bit ago, and he liked LSU 31-14. And one of the things about Lease Sterling's play that I kind of fall in line with is just understanding that this is probably going to be a defensive game. I just don't know how a Florida offense that is scuffling, that has an injured quarterback, that did not practice all offseason, did not go through spring, did not go through fall camp, only started practicing the week before the opener. So really is only in his fourth week back doing football stuff. With an offensive line that hasn't looked great in 2 weeks, you really don't have out wide the type of dynamic playmaker that, look, if this was the LSU secondary 2 years ago, then yeah, all bets are off. But if you're telling me I got Mansour Delane and P.J. Woodland and D.J. Pickett, and you still got Ashton Stamps over there on the bench who can come in, who led the league in PBUs a year ago, and Halsey and Cooley and Gilbert, there's just so much. And by the way, that's not even accounting for the ability to rush the passer and make things difficult on Lagway, who's already struggling. I don't know how Florida offensively gets going. This would have to be the type of game that is a muddied mess, a 16-13 type game where you get a turnover in a short field, something like that. Kind of like what Auburn did in 2019 to LSU in Baton Rouge. It's the only game that on the scoreboard was anywhere near close. And that game wasn't close. But remember, Stingley muffed a punt. LSU had a turnover at the goal line. Then Auburn at the end of the game hit some miracle play down the sideline to break through and score to make it look better than it was. It just wasn't a really close game, but it appeared closer than it was. Okay, actually, as I'm sitting here talking, I just got this push notification. By the way, this is why, I'm a beneficiary of it right here. This is why I always say, if you download the 104.5 ESPN app, make sure you turn on push notifications. I asked Muse in the break, I'm like, have we heard from Brian Kelly yet? And I literally, as I was talking, got the push notification that we just sent out from LouisianaSports.net. So Braylon Moore did participate in practice on Thursday, and Brian Kelly says he is on track to play. Quote, Braylon took all the reps today with the first team. He's ready to go. I think we're going to list him as probable. Okay. Kelly also said Trades was on the field, catching balls, moving around. He's going to be a game-time decision. He's not where we need him to be today, but we still have some time. So probable for Braylon Moore. Trades Green, questionable. Those are the official designations there from Brian Kelly after practice on Thursday. I will tell you candidly, while I understand it, I do not like it. I understand that the thing that ruined this game for you a year ago was your offensive line getting wrecked by Florida's defensive front. And and nobody, there were no exceptions. I mean, everybody had a hand in that fault. And Braylon Moore is your best offensive lineman, and if he can go, you want him out there. And so my feeling has been, they probably tape him up, give him a little happy juice in that ankle, and see what he can give you. But I really worry, really, really worry about aggravating that injury, compounding that injury, and it costing you more throughout the course of this year. You got Southeastern next week, so if he needs to just chill and kick it up for a week, he can. But then you got to get ready to go roll against Ole Miss. And in theory, you could take a week off against Southeastern, play against Ole Miss, then you got an open date before you play South Carolina. That's all fine and good, but you're never giving yourself enough time to let that thing really heal. So we'll go out there and see what it looks like on Saturday. Hopefully Braylon Moore keeps getting treatment. And look, he's a war daddy, man. He wants to be out there. That dude was trying to go back in the game on Saturday. Went in the locker room, got that thing x-rayed, and was trying to go back in against Louisiana Tech. So I have no doubt he wants to get out there and play. But for me, I guess I'm thinking I have the luxury of sitting here in a studio and not on the practice field, of thinking of this from a 10,000-foot view, looking at a potential 15-16 game season and how important Braylon Moore is going to be over that stretch. So in any event, Brian Kelly, official note there after practice. Braylon Moore practice fully, probable for Saturday. Trey'Dez Green, questionable for Saturday. All right, y'all, it's after further review. We are going to get to Otter Locks. Otter Locks are posted over at LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Mike Triplett's coming up here in just a smidge as well. I love telling you about our friends at Arco. Arco is a great new partner here on After Further Review. Protect your business. It's Arco Power Systems. Arco Power Systems, ARCCO, Arco Power Systems. That's arco.com, ARCCO, arco.com, arco.com. These are Generac industrial generators. That's what Arco sells, installs, services. It's this simple. What would happen at your business if the power goes out? Doesn't matter what type of business you're in. It doesn't matter if they're critical services, like our hospitals. If it's that, or if it's any type of business. Telecom, data centers, waste and water facilities, or your retail shop, your gas station, the grocery store. What happens if the power goes out? Who do you call? Arco Power Systems. They're based in Baton Rouge. They service businesses as far west as San Antonio, east to Mobile. They're about to open up an office in Little Rock. They're about to open up an office in Dallas. They're open in Houston. It's Arco Power Systems. ARCCO.com. Arco.com. Arco.com. ARCCO. Arco.com. Okay, y'all, it's after further review. We're glad you're hanging out with us here on this Thursday edition presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. We got to talk some Who Dat. Mike Triplett's going to be here. Remember, schedule that discovery call with our friends over at Decision Critical at decisioncriticalbr.com. Decisioncriticalbr.com. It's not just healthcare. It's healthcare for your lifestyle. And get those IV hydrations. Get those IVs in before you go tailgate this weekend. Decision Critical will come to you, to your home, to your office. Decisioncriticalbr.com. All right, Mike Triplett joins us next here on AFR.
AFR.
Man, I'm really excited. Was texting yesterday with Gabe over at Goodwood, and we got my plan now for BPC 157. So I've told you about it before. It's just one of the many peptides that they offer. Hey, man, I thought they were sexual wellness. They are. They do ED treatments. They have hormone replacement therapy. They have so many other things as well. There are dozens of different peptides that are transforming recovery and healthcare space. You've got to educate yourself and learn more about what's out there for you. BPC 157, read up on it. It's been around since the early 90s. It's becoming really in vogue now, but it's a pentadecapeptide that's 15 different peptides, and it helps aid in recovery from injuries and things like that. I've been using it for my chronic back pain, but it's derived from gastric juice, so it's been tremendously helpful for people with gut issues. Think things like Crohn's disease. It could be incredibly helpful. You owe it to yourself, to your loved ones, to learn more about what's out there. Schedule a consult. YourGoodwood.com. YourGoodwood.com.
Businesses like yours are the soul of our community. You deserve someone who'll deliver the internet services you deserve. That's why local businesses rely on Rev Business, 90 years of building connections. Visit us at letsrev.biz.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit louisianapropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the...
Yeah? New Orleans Saints coverage with some Mad Libs mixed in.
Why don't you just go by Mike?
It's time to talk black and gold with Mike Triplett of New Orleans Football. Presented by Benny's Car Wash. Family owned and operated since 1951.
Mike Triplett, New Orleans Football, hanging out with us. How are you, man?
Good. How are you?
Doing really well. Okay, we saw the Kellen Moore debut on Sunday. They come up short against Arizona. What were your general takeaways?
I guess it was kind of about what I expected. Not an abject disaster. Not quite enough to win. Rattler was about what I expected, which was probably better than some people anticipated, but not, enough to put him over the top. I think that's probably a good sampling of what we're going to see from the Saints this year. But as long as they're relatively healthy, as we said last week, they can compete with teams. Certainly going to be able to compete with the injury ravaged team that's coming into the Superdome this week.
We're going to talk about that. The Saints do lose safety Julian Blackmon. So we talked about Mike, you've said it all off season. They've got some good frontline players, but the gap is what the depth is the problem here, right? Well, now you've lost a starting safety. How do you start to manage what the impact is of Julian Blackmon being done for the year?
Yeah, look, he was a really nice late acquisition for them. Arrived after Tyrann Mathieu retired, and his first day of practice with the Saints was the second day of training camp. He's done nothing but impress and make plays and fit right in. So that's going to be a loss for sure. I do think that is a position where they are a little more equipped to absorb a loss than some others. I think we're going to see Jonas Sanker, the third-round pick, get the first crack at that job. But they do have Jordan Howden, who obviously is an experienced starter in his third year. They have Terrell Burgess, an experienced veteran. That's one of the few possessions where they had some depth, but I don't want to shortchange Julian Blackman, who almost came up with an interception in that game and looked like he was going to be a really nice find for them.
Second highest graded player defensively by Pro Football Focus in Week 1, behind only Demario Davis. What were your impressions throughout training camp of Jonas Sanker?
Well, he kind of came on later as far as earning the playing time and earning the opportunities, but he would make plays here and there, and then he started to make a lot of plays. I didn't know when he would get his playing time, and, the league has a funny way of making that happen faster than you think sometimes. But I did think we would see him a lot on special teams, and sure enough, he was one of the key players that they're going to be using on special teams. So I think he, of all their rookies, I mean, Danny Stutzman had a really nice summer, but his path to playing time is also pretty well blocked. I think Sanker, out of all the rookies outside of Kelvin Banks, should be prepared to make the biggest early impact.
Mike, was there anything on Sunday that surprised you, good or bad?
Not huge surprises. I mean, the most alarming thing was Tali Fuaga playing at the level he played. He was struggling out there, and then they took him out of the game. So I imagine it was the knee all along. But whether it was performance or health, scary, because he needs to be one of the top 10 guys that you count on this season. He needs to be one of the top 3 guys that you count on as a building block for the future. So that's an unfortunate guy to get a little nervous about. I wouldn't say anything surprising. I mean, Cam and DeMario were both drinking out of the fountain youth. That was kind of a nice surprise. One of the better feel-good stories to see in Week 1.
You mentioned Taliesin Fuaga. He, Trevor Penning, Chase Young are the big injury story this week in advance of the game against the 49ers. Would you mind maybe just going through each of those, telling us what you know and what the expectation is for Sunday? We'll start with Fuaga.
Yeah, well, Fuaga is the big question mark of the group. I mean, it really feels like Chase Young and Trevor Penning aren't going to play since we haven't seen them back on the practice field yet. Fuaga did get back in practice today, very limited, but, he had said yesterday the knee is going to be something he has to manage. I don't know for sure that they'll put him right back on the field, but he's the one who has a chance to play of sort of the big injury question marks of the week for sure.
What does not having Trevor Penning mean on offense and Chase Young mean on defense?
Yeah, I think with Penning we don't know yet. I wish we knew. It's by all indications he was going to be better at guard than he's been since we've seen him with the Saints, better than he was at right tackle last year, but we haven't seen it, so we don't know for sure. But he has a chance to be like a bonus. If he really gravitates to that position and he can get out and move people in the run game, it has a chance to become a strength. So at this point, we haven't seen that. And Chase Young, we know. I mean, he's their best pass rusher. He's their most talented pass rusher. And even though Carl Granderson and Cam Jordan both had nice games in Week 1, you'd like to rotate in a third guy and have them be your second and third best pass rushers. So he's absolutely going to be missed as long as he's out.
Yeah, a guy that spent $50 million on in the offseason as well. He's on Twitter at Mike Triplett, NewOrleans.football. Our chats with Mike are brought to you by Benny's Car Wash. Go to Benny'sCarWash.com, Benny'sCarWash.com, and learn more about their anytime packages where you can enroll. I'm in the one that's $17.99 a month, and you get as many car washes as you want, unlimited. Benny'sCarWash.com, Benny'sCarWash.com. Okay, so the 49ers come in this weekend, and as you mentioned, they are injury-riddled. We've gone through it. No Brock Purdy, no George Kittle. Obviously, Deebo Samuel plays for Washington now. Brandon Ayuk is still hurt. Like, am I wrong for thinking this is a game where this New Orleans defense should actually stand pretty tall and keep them in this thing?
Yeah, I mean, it should be competitive. I mean, we saw what injuries did to the 49ers last year. They were not able to overcome just the barrage of injuries. I mean, this is the one team that for the last 3 years has had worse injury reports than the Saints, I think, in the entire league. And no team can overcome that. And so they're vulnerable. They're absolutely vulnerable. Now, They still have Christian McCaffrey, who might be the best offensive player in the entire NFL. You still have to worry about him. Ricky Pearsall is a legitimate receiver who was drafted in the first round, and is a weapon they're going to have to worry about. And their defense is loaded. I mean, you still got Nick Bosa, you still got Fred Warner. So the Niners, even with all those injuries, are still 3-point underdogs last time I checked on the road across the country in New Orleans. But 3-point spread is basically a coin flip. The Saints play the way they did last week, minus the penalties, finish in the red zone. Of course, this should be one of those one-score games that they should have a chance to win.
Can the Saints offense move the ball against the 49ers defense?
I think they can. The offensive line injuries, if Fuaga's not going to be out there, that becomes more disturbing. But, they do have playmakers too. I mean, we saw it, Olave Shaheed, Alvin, all looking good last year. Add in Brandon Cooks, add in Jawan Johnson. There are some weapons they get the ball to. Kellen Moore is pretty smart about not having Spencer Rattler stand back in the pocket for too long, get himself in trouble. 1 sack, no turnovers last week. That's what the game plan will look like. It's hard to count on 12-play drives. They blow up sometimes. Sometimes you get all the way to the 3-yard line and you can't finish it off. When you're counting on that, they'll probably need to find a way to get an explosive play in there or two that never showed up last week. But, yeah, I mean, to be able to win a game in the low 20s, I think they're capable of doing that.
This is going to sound probably like a stupid question, the way I'm going to ask it, but I think you'll understand what I mean. How important is it for the Saints to win this game because of all the context we just mentioned and what you have the next 2 weeks on the road?
Yeah, look, ever since I saw this schedule, I thought 0-4 was going to be staring them in the face because it's at Seattle and it's at Buffalo. And even if this team is pointing in the right direction and has some positive vibes and some things to genuinely feel good about, 0-4 is hard to escape. I mean, there's going to be guys in that locker room who know the playoffs are kind of out of the picture, barring a miracle. It's easy for DeMario Davis and Cam Jordan to look shot out of the cannon in week 1, but when they're checking another season off the list, it becomes a lot harder for that buy-in in the locker room. I mean, Chris Olave, I just wrote about this today. His frustration was so evident after another loss that they fought so hard in and coming up short. He was steaming in the locker room. I mean, it takes a toll. So starting 0-4 hurts your spirit. I mean, you can't fake your way through that. So getting any games they can in this first 4 would be huge to kind of keep that belief alive, because this is a team that is clearly built to be better with each passing month as guys like Kellen Moore and Spencer Rattler gain experience.
What'd you think of the uniforms?
Hated them. Hated them. I'm looking forward to the all white ones we're going to see soon, but I'm not a yellow guy.
My wife asked me, and she doesn't know anything about sports, Mike. She said she came in because she wasn't even watching. She came in the room and goes, "Why is that the same? Why are they wearing beige?"
Yeah, light beige too. A different beige than the beige on their pants. I mean, they have. Look, if you want a team with 7 different shades of beige, light gold, bright gold, they've got the full spectrum. Unfortunately, they often pair them together.
They just mix and match like a 40-year-old trying to pick out socks and shoes. I just put on whatever we want. That's what we'll do today.
There you go.
All right, you can read about all that and more at NewOrleans.football, and make sure you follow him on Twitter at Mike Triplett. He's with us every Thursday. We appreciate it, Mike. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
All right, man. Be well. It's after further review. I was at Supper Club last night for dinner. Oh, they got in. So we shared. We ordered different cuts of meat, sliced, brought to the table, and we shared. We got the bison, which is my first time having the bison at Supper Club. Incredible. The pepper crust on it, it was cooked to perfection. Perfect. And we did, in fact, get one of these Sagrera cuts. Y'all, I'm just telling you, if you love steak, go to Supper Club. So I'm going to have Chef Layton give me the actual verbiage on this. This is my fault. I should know it. But there's this certain scale that they use to determine what is USDA choice, what is USDA prime, and then so on, right? Well, like choice is like a 3 to 6 and prime's like a 6 to a 9 or something like that. And anything beyond that, it's like there's no scale beyond that. The Sagrera cows that they just got, and this is they butcher the cows in-house at Supper Club, was like a 14 on that scale. Like unbelievable, like off the charts, like not even heard of. I'm telling you, if you love steak, if you nerd out on steak, go get one of the Sagrera cuts of the cow. They just got in yesterday. Like literally just got the new Sagrera cow in yesterday at Supper Club. Get on by tonight for dinner. Remember, you can always eat at the bar. There's 14 stools at the bar, and there's 7 bar tables as well. So you pop on in. You never need a reservation for that. SupperClubBTR.com, SupperClubBTR.com. I'm telling you, will have the dining experience of your life when you go to Supper Club. SupperClubBTR.com. All right, y'all. Thanks to Mike Triplett. We appreciate it. Man, all of our guests. Lease Sterling and Sean Salisbury were here last hour. Darin Tietgen was here with our Fantasy Blitz in hour number 1. We got Jimmy coming up for Otterlocks here in a smidge. Always appreciate Blazia and her great team over at Decision Critical, our Thursday sponsors all throughout the year. They have 50 expertly trained nurses that are all handpicked by Blazia. If you ever wonder about hiring a nursing service, wonder, well, who is coming in? You will interview the nurse. You'll meet the nurse before they ever come to your house to sit with your family, with your loved one, to stay with you at the hospital, at your home, whatever it may be. And they have a waiting list of nurses trying to join the team at Decision Critical. It's the best of the best. DecisionCriticalBR.com, DecisionCriticalBR.com. All right. Jimmy will be here for Otterlocks. Otterlocks are posted at LouisianaSports.net. He's got a play on the NFL game tonight. He's got a play on the college game tonight. He's got a couple of Major League Baseball plays as well. So a jam-packed card. We'll get to it with Otterlocks to wrap up the show next.
AFR.
GLO, GlowResources.com. They are complete employer solutions. I'm so proud of Jareth Knockan and the gang over at Glow Resources. A few weeks back, the Baton Rouge Business Report released their list, top 100 privately owned businesses in Baton Rouge. Glow Resources on that list. Incredible business that they've grown, and it's a testament not only to the people there, the quality of the service that they deliver, but their culture. Great culture at Glow Resources. If you're a business owner and you've been struggling to find the right people for your business, that's where Glow Resources come in. They are experts at finding the right people for your business, no matter what you're hiring for. Maybe you need skilled blue-collar labor, pipe fitters, welders, crane operators, heavy equipment operators. They do that. But they also can help with their professional placement division, find C-level management, or any type of office job. The key to productivity is having the right people in the right seats on the bus in any business. Glow Resources can help you do that. GLO, GlowResources.com.
104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and First American Bank and Trust bring you the Heart of the Game Award, recognizing student athletes who deliver when it counts. Nominate your game day standout at 1045ESPN.com by the 21st. We'll choose 5 male and 5 female finalists, and then it's up to the fans to vote for the winners. Each winner gets a $250 gift card, a custom award, and the spotlight they've earned. Presented by First American Bank and Trust, a banking tradition since 1910.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here. We eat out here. We watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Down the stretch we come. Final segment here on a Thursday edition of AFR presented by Decision Critical. One thing left to do, find out what we're betting on tonight, and there is a lot of it on this card. Time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
Otter, how are you?
We're doing great. It's football, baby. Got a little college and pro for the first time tonight. So, yes, indeed. Looking forward to it. Let's get right into it. So, Randy McKay, we love Randy. He didn't have the best first week, but don't buck Randy. So, we're going to bounce back with the big dog, Randy McKay. He likes Washington tonight. Enough for me, 3.5. I'm fading all the recency bias from week one in the NFL. For instance, I'm going to be on the Dolphins on Sunday. They couldn't have looked worse.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Green Bay beat a good, respectable team pretty bad in Detroit. And I think a lot of the public will be on them tonight. I'm going to take Washington 3.5. And also, Matt, Washington to win the Super Bowl is a little bit, they're worth a swing tonight. If they pull off the upset tonight on a standalone game at Green Bay, which they could easily do, I'd recommend the money line as well. Man, they're going there. Their odds are going to be cut very short. So I didn't like what I saw with the Eagles and their defense. They lost a big chunk of their defense, and Dallas only stopped themselves on opening night a week ago. So Washington money line, and a little sprinkle, gumbo bet on the Commanders to win it all this year.
Okay. Yeah, that's a great point.
If they win, it's going to be cut.
Yeah.
It's going to be cut down. So, so.
Okay. By the way, are there still 3.5s out there? I'm looking at DraftKings right now. It's down to 3. Are there still 3.5s out there?
I took it when it was 3.5 earlier. So, because you fear just that. It's a way bigger difference, 3.5 to 3 than it is 3.5 to 4.
No doubt.
I took the chance.
No doubt. Okay. All right. So we're
but
on
three's
the
fine. 3 is fine.
Yeah.
3 is fine. Still recommended.
Little sprinkle bet on the money line as well. Got that in there. So it's a good price there, plus 145. So Commanders and on the money line as well. All right.
Wake Forest, NC State ACC battle tonight. Wake Forest is 0-7. Their last 7 at home in Winston-Salem, and that's why we got them tonight. We're going to take the Demon Deacons. So the NC State defense is not good. I mean, they were fortunate. Virginia had the ball about the 10-yard line at the end of the game. First down interception to lose the game at the end. A field goal would have tied it. A touchdown would have won it. But we got Wake Forest plus 7.5 at home against NC State. I just think it's a little bit too many points. Wake Forest should be able to score in this one. Baseball tonight. Why stop now? We're going with the Phillies again. Luzardo, quality starter on the hill for the Phillies. They've won the first 3 games in this series. We've had them all 3 games. We're not going to stop now and lay the odds in that one. And tonight, Seattle knows damn well that the Kevin Gausman shut it down to throw the Houston Astros tonight. They can tie the Astros in the American League West with a win tonight. So we're going with Seattle minus on the money line in that one.
All right, in the MLB, it's Seattle and the Phillies. NFL, we like the Commanders. Maybe a little sprinkle bet there on the money line, but take the Commanders and the points. And then college football, Wake Forest plus the touchdown and a hook. By the way, there is a live in-game boost over on DraftKings on Thursday night on the college game, but it's a live bet. So maybe wait for it to kick off and then jump in that game, you think?
Oh, yeah. Always take your boost. Yes, indeed. Get ready to go in live. So, and you know what? Because we got so much, if Washington goes up, put the live bet on with the boost on Green Bay.
All right. Well, the live bet is just for the college game, by the way. That's
okay.
There is a no sweat bet for Green Bay and Washington, but the live boost is just the college game.
If Wake Forest ever gets a lead, you take NC State on the live bet.
Okay. Well, real quick, the other thing that they do have is a live in-game on an prop on an anytime scorer for the NFL game. Any feeling like a Jaden anytime scorer, anytime?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just do it on Jaden Daniels.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, Otter. Football Friday tomorrow at Rufino's.
Extra hour, 10 a.m. Richard Dixon and Charlie, fresh from watching the film, the All-22, edition. And so we're looking forward to all kinds of handicappers, man. We got a lot of picks and analysis tomorrow. Starting 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Rufino.
Get on by and see the Otter. Have some lunch over at Rufino's tomorrow with the guys. Thank you, Otter.
Good luck.
All right. If you missed the picks, you get them always over at LouisianaSports.net for free, LouisianaSports.net. All right, that's going to do it for us here on this Thursday edition. Many thanks, as always, to Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge, DecisionCriticalBR.com. You missed anything? AFR On Demand, presented by Breck Golf. Muse Pauly, thanks. Y'all have a great night. See you tomorrow at 3.
After further review.
I had a great night last night. Had dinner with my friends from Our Lady of the Lake over at Supper Club. Great time, as always. But what I really love to tell you about is the expanding partnership, not only that we have with Our Lady of the Lake, that Our Lady of the Lake has with LSU, and that the Franciscan Missionaries of Our Lady Health System has across the entire region. You see, they've agreed this year to a $250 million investment in facility upgrades, not just at the Our Lady of the Lake Regional Medical Center in Baton Rouge, yes, there, but St. Elizabeth, at their mental health facility, at many of their different facilities as they serve across the entire footprint of the Franciscan Missionaries of Our Lady Health System. Of course, right here in Baton Rouge, Our Lady of the Lake, the Regional Medical Center right there on SN, the Children's Hospital, which I've told you many times, we'll actually be there next week. Drew has a neurology appointment with Dr. Shah, who's wonderful, by the way. It's Our Lady of the Lake. Our Lady of the Lake and LSU. Together, we roar.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit LouisianaPropane.com.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. It's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. a family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Brack, your #1 park system in the nation.
River Parish Contractors has immediate openings for structural steel shop fabricators. Call or text Big Jake today at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com and click on employment. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
Tiger Country is 100.7 The Tiger. In the car on 100.7 FM or on the 100.7 The Tiger app. 90s country and beyond. 100.7 The Tiger.